Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Yay!
Shit!
Let's get right into the questions. We have a question from caller Wish Fui. Hong Kong Wish
Hello.
Fui.
It's Dorora Wishfully, and I have a question for
Yes,
you.
what is your question?
Brad Wobo.
Whoa.
Yes.
Brad Hobo.
My question is, my current hit point is 15. My armor class is 13. How does that affect one another, and what happens when I get hit?
All right. So when you make your attack rolls, you roll one roll, and then we find out how much damage you do. Right. So
Yes.
make me roll with your little short sword there.
My short sword.
Yeah, we're gonna have
Okay.
Dorora versus Dorora here. Okay, so you've rolled a 19 on your attack roll. So if you hover your mouse over that thing, I think the stream can vaguely see it. It says 1d20 plus Dex plus proficiency. So what you're doing is that's you running in with the sword, trying to hit the thing. The other thing has got different things that are stopping you from doing that. AKA, it's quick, so it's trying to dodge out of the way, or it's got like a big plate set of armor on, and you need to roll a high enough dice to be able to actually hit the thing, actually do damage to the creature. So essentially, your armor class is a number that represents how difficult it is for the sword to actually bite into your skin, if that makes sense. So then roll your damage. I think I've killed Tiger with how convoluted I made that.
I swallowed down the wrong tube.
So in order to hit somebody, you have to beat their armor class, which is just a number that represents how difficult it is to hit them. And then your HP is your actual health, how much damage can be done to you before you die. You've done a 7. So if we were rolling it against you, your armor class is 13, so that 19 would easily hit you. And the 7 damage would then be reduced from your HP. Does that kind of make sense?
Yes. So the
it's
first
not the
order
technical
is to make sure you're hitting past their armor class, the first roll, and the second roll for the damage is for your HP.
So one is your attack roll, and one of them is your damage roll. You would normally obviously be rolling physical dice that do these things. So a thing has a certain armor class based on how difficult it is to hit, essentially. But yeah, and it comes mostly from dexterity. I think yours is just dexterity because you have no armor on, and you are not a draconic ancestry sorcerer who they get a little boost from being partially dragonish. So you're basically you might as well be naked essentially. What?
Partially dragonish.
Yeah, so there's
you get your skin thing.
Who? You get
you.
No, him, not him. He doesn't either. He doesn't get a bonus.
I thought he has it.
No, it's purely a draconic sorcery thing. So basically your magic comes from a source that is like so ancient that it's like draconic, I think. I don't actually know what the exact lore is behind it, but you get a bonus thing called a draconic ancestry armor. I think so. I think what it does is it gives you your dex plus your constitution or something. It doesn't matter. We don't have to worry about it, and I feel like I'm just going to confuse everyone by talking about it. But no, you don't get it for being a dragonborn tiger, and you don't get it because you're a wild mage. So your magic is just wild and unkept and comes from some strange source. I don't even know if there is actual lore around it because I don't know if they left that open for interpretation. Maybe somebody in chat will slowly explain to me how to be a DM.
I like to have like my own interpretation of where she got the magic from. So
yeah, 100%. Feel free to do that. So essentially, your armor class is 13 because you have 10, which is just the average. It's everyone's AC I think starts at 10, and then you add your dexterity to it, and then any different modifiers that come from armor. So you're only trying to dodge shit, basically. Anything that comes towards you, if it hits you, it's because you didn't get out of the way, as opposed to somebody like Kaval, who is a big armored paladin. She can stand and take a lot of damage without jumping out of the way in the heavy armor because she's got like a chain shirt on or a chain vest or something. I don't know what you're wearing, Kaval, and I don't care because It's irrelevant. It was an
you.
example. So hopefully that makes sense. It's probably quite a long way of explaining it, and I probably could have done it better. But
Oh,
I
it's
don't
perfect.
care. I don't care because
I just zoned out.
good. You don't need to learn. You know everything already, don't you, Kiwo?
I know.
It was amazing actually because everybody leveled up to level 2 last week. Congratulations! Give yourselves a pat on the back, a little clap there. You made it
did
to level
something.
2.
How many
And,
weeks in a week?
It's a lot. I don't even know. I think this is episode 8. This would be 2 months actually. 2 months of episodes. And yeah, so we all showed up. We jumped into a call a little bit earlier to level up the characters. And Kiwo's was already done. She had gone away and done it because she was that much of an expert.
I know. I am.
It was crazy. Nobody was expecting that. I know Pony wasn't. Pony was the most blown away by it.
You know, you don't have to be mean to me today, okay?
I do.
Oh. Okay then.
I do, because it's the last episode. You're all going to die.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Now that you've
You can't
finally
kill
made it to
you.
level 2. What is dead can never die. No, you're probably not going to die. I don't know. I can't predict what's going to happen at all.
You want to explain the skill that Damien got? That's fucking unnecessary for him.
The unnecessary violence skill
Yeah.
that he already had. Yeah,
What
Damien.
was it
So,
called?
Pony, I'm
What did
starting
you-
to get
what
the
did you
suspicion
get?
You don't trust me.
what did you get,
Uh-oh.
Tiger?
Oh, I don't even know.
Yeah, I know you don't. That's why I'm making you learn.
I mean,
as
I
far
know
as
what it was. I
can.
know what you're talking. I know what he's talking about. He doesn't like the what is it? Bio road.
Reckless.
Called? No,
Yeah.
reckless. What is it? Reckless.
Fury?
Reckless abandonment. Reckless
Fury.
attack. You
Reckless
can
attack.
throw aside all concern for defense to attack with fierce desperation. When you make your first attack on your turn, you can decide to attack recklessly. Doing so gives you advantage on melee weapon attack rolls using strength during this turn. Attack rolls against you have advantage until your next turn.
Who gave that to Damien? Who the
I
fuck?
know. He basically reckless
Worst
attacks
ever.
anyway, but now he gets a bonus to actually hit when he does it. So probably a good thing, really. Could be worse.
It's gonna save us some time.
Yeah. Welcome to what I think is episode 8. Really might be wrong, but it's what I've got written down. Let's see what happened last time. I can never remember
Found a
where the
boat.
episodes start to get me going. Do you know?
Oh,
What was the first thing
okay.
that happened last week?
I came
Last
back.
week, yeah, he came back. We met Carthel Reed.
Oh, yeah.
We saw Carthel Reed. We battled his goons. Damon jumped out of a window. They might have killed Kitty's character. Carthel Reed disappeared, headed to a barge to Mirabar. The wolf said north of Mirabar, tranquility will guide you. And then there's warrants out for Carthel Reed and Luskin by Peanut. And we're on a barge where they said we got to work to pay off our debt. And, it's cheaper. And there might be griffins that attack us and other
And-
shit.
Carthel took a barge to Mirabar as
Mhm.
well that day.
We're after Castle.
Yes,
yeah,
he did.
you're
He headed out
essentially-
before us.
Traveling along this river, which is called the River Mirabar, and you're heading to. In fact, you guys, I don't know if you're zoomed in on this map, but I will. No, I won't. I'm not going to take you there because it's going to ruin my life.
Oh.
It's at the north. There's a northern river which travels between the city of Luskin, where all of these episodes have been set so far, up to Mirabar, a dwarven sort of mining town, a very rich dwarven mining town. And you jumped onto a barge and sort of set sail, attempting to catch up to Carthel Reed, the man in red, who ran extremely quickly, superhumanly quickly, out of your grasp, essentially. And let's just jump back in. So you've been on the barge for some time. I'm gonna get. Let's see. Pony Punch. Can you roll me a D4?
Oh, today's nope. Yeah.
During the time that you've been on this barge, which has been almost 2 weeks now, you have had to fight off 4 griffins. guess what that means, everyone?
Oh.
It means you get some XP because you won.
That's a free XP.
Yeah. You
Uh,
can thank me later, guys.
so,
I'll thank you later.
What a good roll. Thank you.
every single DM in the world just felt a disturbance in the force from me doing that. Every single one.
Bless you.
Yeah, so
How much?
it's been about 2 weeks on this barge, and you've been traveling upstream towards Mirabar. Lycos, the captain of the barge, and his men have treated you fairly well. They've put you to work with sort of menial tasks, but mostly left you to yourselves. There have been 4 attacks from griffins, which are these sort of like giant, great big
Eagle
dogs
lion.
with eagle and lion bodies, and they fly in, just randomly attack for food. And yeah, you've managed to fend them off, and I'll sort out some XP for you guys for doing such a great job. Give yourselves a pat on the back. Let's have another clap.
There's a pot in the back.
You've done excellently. Let's see. So Lycos has explained to you that this barge, the Nimbus, is a logging and ore barge that collects wood from the Neverwinter wood and delivers it up river to Mirabar, and then they trade it for ore, which they bring back to Luskan. Essentially, what I'm going to do, just because I found a really cool image of a barge, I'm going to give you the barge. Here is the barge. Here is where you've been cotching up just because I like maps. It is 3 days from Mirabar. Lycos told you at the beginning of this day, which is now ending, that you're 3 days from Mirabar. The sun set about an hour ago, and it is it's about 8 p.m. because we're approaching winter, late autumn. What do you guys want to do? You're just on a barge.
I kind of just look up and I go over to the side of the barge and I look over at the water.
Okay. Give me a perception check while you're there.
Righty, I can do that.
Cool.
There you go.
It's a dark night. The wind is sort of gentle breeze that heads downstream in the opposite direction to where the barge is going. Looking into the water, you see nothing. It's just very dark. A very small glimmer of an almost full moon reflecting up. Yeah, that's what you see.
I look down at the water for a second and I reach in my pocket, pull out a copper, and I throw it into the water.
All right. Any purpose?
Just to be fucking cool and just blow his money.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. If you're doing it to look cool, that's cool. If you're trying to make a wish,
Making a wish.
Hey.
you're making a wish.
Yeah, how'd you know, though?
I don't know. That's the thing, because I am the DM. You know, if you're making a wish, then you're going to have to sort of privately tell me what that wish is.
Oh, really? Okay, I
Yeah.
can do that. Whisper in a second.
Well,
Can I?
yeah.
Can I look for food?
Look for food, as in
Mm-hmm.
you want to like go fishing, or do you want to just head off?
I'll look around deck, like see if there's anything around.
Yeah. So
But no.
below decks, there's an area where the crew sleep and hang out, and there's an area like a sort of a very small mess kitchen. It's more like a mess side where they have various foods prepared. Usually, though, they just make food and then dish it out. It would have been about an hour and a half ago that you'd just eaten with the crew. In terms of where you guys have been sleeping, it is right there. That is your area. You've been sleeping outside under the stars. There's not enough room for you down below decks. The entire 2-week travel has been spent almost like camping outside. So I mean, you can attempt to look for food, but in terms of your knowledge up to now, you probably know they won't give you any at this point.
Well, I'll sneak down and see if I can snatch a cookie or a banana or something.
Give me a stealth check.
You know what I thought sucks is that little fucker a couple weeks ago stole her fucking blanket, so she's had to like sleep under her bedroll the whole time.
Yeah, you lost that wonderful winter blanket that you had, unfortunately. So, Leo, as you head up and head along here, Lycos is at the ship's wheel. It's not really a wheel, it's more like that thing you see at the back of the barge. They move in unison with each other. It's just a steering pole. By the way, my Achilles heel is boats as a DM, so I have no idea what they do. So the steering pole in front of him, he turns to you as you very poorly creep by. You're kind of just attempting to walk very quietly and low to the ground, but you make a lot of noise, and you might as well be stamping your feet as you walk along. You're just hitting stuff as you barge past him. Lycos turns to you and says, "Right, what are you doing?"
I was going down below deck quickly.
Why?
I dropped my flute.
Give me a deception check.
Jesus.
That's my best though.
Hey!
I'm super good at deception.
All right, let me see here. Oh, well, go on then. Hurry up with it. Will ya?
I'll be back soon. Yeah.
All right. So you head down below decks.
Yeah. I head down. I guess you can check. Yeah. You're the DM, though. I'm not gonna tell you what to do.
Yeah, there isn't a below decks map necessarily.
Oh.
It's just a very tight area. So it's the length of this kind of the square that you see Lycos stood upon below decks, and it's only about 5 foot before your head starts banging the ceiling. So you creep around down there. Most of the crew are just sort of lounging around in their bunks. They've done all of their work for the day, and at night time, essentially, one person just steers the barge, and everyone else sleeps. And then the next day, they get up and do their rounds. Most of the work comes at either end, loading the actual wood or ore onto the boat. It's a lot of sort of sitting around and then just general maintenance. While you creep around down there, give me another stealth check as you head downstairs. Dorora, Kaval, are you doing anything weird?
Well,
Oh,
sorry, Dorora is just like she's gathering up little piles of the like I guess wood shavings, and she does this constantly. Like it's kind of keeping the deck clean almost because she doesn't have a blanket, and she just keeps lighting those on fire with that one spell she had.
Wait, you're making a fire on a giant wooden boat.
Yeah, it's small and contained. All right, don't fucking worry. Is that okay with you?
I really don't like this idea.
You're making a fire
It's
On a wooden boat.
with a spell as a wild mage
On a wooden boat.
on a
it
wooden
sounds like a
boat
great idea to
with
me.
lots of wood.
On a wooden boat.
It's fine if I can't. It's fine.
No, you
Whatever.
can. You tell me
Well,
what
it's
spell.
not that you can't.
what spell are you
Would
attempting
be
to cast?
the prestidigitation. That one. How do you say that? Prestidigitation.
No, you got it right the first time. It's
Diddly-diddly-doo. That one.
prestidigitation. I don't know. I can't say either.
Yeah, it's prestidigitation.
Prestidigitation.
Tation. Prestidigitation. Yes, that one. Where I can turn it on and turn it off. Like, doop, doop.
Yeah, you
That's
can.
an
First of all, make me a survival check just to see how well you gather your fire ingredients there. Your
Survival?
wooden shavings and stuff. Yeah. See how good you are at just preparing a fire. Yeah, that's not bad. You find a small pile and you place them in a small circle.
It's small. It's like a little. It's bullshit, but it's like trying to keep her warm. Like she's so pitiful. Like this, and she's been bitching the whole time. Like, like I could just. Aurora, please. I mean, there's other ways that she could stay warm because the prestidigitation one also lets me warm up a 1 cubic foot for like an hour. But she's like just gonna do the whole campfire for now.
Okay, yeah.
on that one.
So you press the digitation, and it makes a very small fire,
it's
and
tiny.
it begins to burn on the deck of the Nimbus, this barge here. And immediately, Lycos shouts down, "What are you doing? What's that? You made a fire?
Yeah, I'm cold.
You're burning my boat's made of wood."
Yeah,
I walk over. I
What?
look down at the fire.
But Damien, what? I'm cold.
I look at the fire and I put my foot over it and I just kind of look at her. And
Don't
I look at her for a second
Don't do it.
and I just put my foot over it and I just kind of start slowly kind of trying. How big is this fire? Is it something I could just like put out with my foot?
Yeah.
Yes. It's
I just
tiny.
put my foot over it and just start like a cigarette.
Don't.
And I just back and forth with my foot and I just start shaking my head back and forth. I don't say anything. I turn around, I walk back over to the corner of the boat and I lean back over.
She like reaches for his like foot to try to pull it off, but there's no way in hell. It's just like a pathetic like little grab like to try to push it off. It's so pitiful.
Lycos shouts down, "Good job. You can pay for any damage to my deck down there."
There's no damage. She's like, oh, she gives up at that point.
The deck's shit. Like, the deck is all broken and battered anyway. It's like, it's not a nice, fresh, clean barge by any mean. Yeah. But it's not necessarily burned.
No, it's
What is Kaval doing?
I want to make my way over to the edge of the barge where Damien, did you move back to the...
Yeah, I'm over on the edge. Still leaning over.
I'm gonna come down there too, like... You right?
Kind of look over at her. I kind of giggle a little bit like, yes?
It's
Why?
nice... No, it's just a nice evening we're having. We
Yes?
didn't have to stomp out a fire, but...
mean,
You know, she was doing her thing. She's a little cold.
you realize we're on a wooden boat.
Well, she seemed to have it under control to some extent. I look over my shoulder to see what Aurora's doing.
She literally just like has her long ass legs like wrapped up towards her body and she's like shivering like as she sits there. It's so pitiful.
I look over at her. I look back over. I kind of look back at the water. I'm fine. It's a long trip and I'm bored. What are we gonna do? Just sitting here, wasting time. And I look at her for a minute and I kind of reach back and kind of like, almost like snake bite my great sword's handle with my right hand. And I'm just a little antsy, that's all. Very antsy. Don't like boats very much. Kind of look at the boat and I grab the side and I look back down at the water.
I have to agree with you there. It is getting quite boring on here. How long ago was it when we fought those griffins? That was exciting, right? That was
That was like an
fun
hour.
time. Oh, that was a good time. We can remember the good times. Maybe we'll run into more or something.
I scoot closer to Kaval.
God. Oh,
Like in like a very weird manner, for sure.
I'm sorry. It's making me laugh.
I just shuffle away from him slightly.
I look at her and I go, "Oh, did you say something about being cold? Body
Oh.
heat helps."
I'm fine. I'm fine. It's Aurora that we need to worry about.
Oh, and I hear her say that, and I instantly look over to her, and I kind of notice Dorora looks like she is shivering.
That's what the fire was for. She's tiny.
Shivering? Is she shivering?
Most definitely. Look at the state of her.
And I walk over to Dorora, and I look down at her.
And she looks up at him.
I
Shivering.
instantly go and I sit down beside her, and I scooch in really close. And I don't put my arm around her, I just scooch in really close. And I just like pull my knees up to my chest and wrap my arms around my knees, and I just kind of sit by her.
Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, she knows what he's doing at this point, and she like scooches as close as she can get to him, and she's also in the same like bundled up manner, and she just like tucks herself against him, even though like obviously he's taller than her, but like they just kind of sit snuggled up, but they're not actually snuggled up.
I sit there for a second, and I then hold on, where is it? I then pull out my bedroll from my bag, and I kind of like almost like you'd be like opening up a blanket to put it on your bed. I wish it out, and then I kind of sit there as she gets close to me, and I kind of like I don't cringe, but I just kind of make a weird look at her when she got like almost like snuggled up to me, and like I don't almost awkwardly know what to do, and I grab it and I grab her leg, and I slowly take her left leg and I put it in the bed sack, and then I grab her right leg and I start slowly pulling it up her legs, and then I kind of just like scoot away a little bit and go, and I pat her on the shoulder and go, "Here, I have no use for this right now. You can use it. You're warm."
Thank you. And she just sits there awkwardly for a second, and she's like trying to figure out like, okay, I can make this work somehow. And yeah, so she like continues to try to pull it up a little bit, at least to her knees, I guess. Like,
I kind of look at her as she's pulling it up to her knees, and as I look down, half of the bag is just like half of the bed is just kind of hanging. Like you can see where her feet are in the middle of the bag, and she's not using all of it. And I just kind of look at her and I go, "I'm very confused. Aren't you cold?"
yeah, I'm freezing. I'm freezing here. Here, let me.
Have you never used a bedroll before?
No,
I walk over to her and I pick her up if I can. Do you want me to roll anything for that?
If she is not trying to stop you, then you shouldn't have any problem doing it.
But she doesn't care. Like, she literally doesn't care about anything right now.
I pick her up with both hands, and then with one hand, I kind of like reach around her back and hold her close to my chest, and with the other hand, I grab, almost like you'd grab a pillow, and I start like
stuff her in the cage.
like stuffing her in the bag, like shuffling her into the bag, and I eventually like once she's like almost shoulder deep and her arms are in there, I kind of like slowly let go over with one arm and grab both shoulders and kind of set her back down, standing up, and it's like to the point where the bag is kind of around her neck. For the most part, I look at her, I'm like, "See, you'll be much warmer." And then, not even thinking, I look over and I find a little bench area thing, and I grab her, I pick her up, and I lay her down on the bench like a plank. She's pretty much wrapped up tight in this little bed thing.
Perfect. She doesn't fight it. She just lets it awkwardly happen. She doesn't even say anything. Just like, well, she finally mummers, thank you, Damien, as her teeth still chatter because she's getting used to being warm again.
As she says that, I walk away, and as I'm walking away, I look over to Caval, and I go back. "Are you still over by just sitting over, kind of hanging off the edge?"
Yep, just hanging out.
I go back over to her, and I get down on it, and I once again scoot kind of close to her, and then just kind of cross my arms and lean over the thing and just don't really say anything.
That was sweet. She needed that.
Come again?
What you did for her then? That was
About
kind of you. No, it was just a kind
Oh.
gesture.
Yeah, oh. Damien
I
kind of
just-
looks at her kind of awkwardly and confused and doesn't really know how to like accept what she's saying.
You
Starts
are being
blushing.
kind. It's like a kind of compliment, kind of almost. I'm just saying it was nice of you, Damien.
kind of awkwardly hides his face for a second because he's blushing really hard and kind of like crosses his arms a little tighter and just kind of goes, "Thank you, thank you."
So, anyone see where Leo got to?
Give me a stealth
Turn that
check,
left.
please, Leo. Oh no, you did it. 17. So let me roll 5 dice. Oh. As you head downstairs, most of the guys down there don't see what you're doing. At the very far end, the smallest member of the crew, who also happens to be the chef, kind of sees you head downstairs and then just lowers his head once again to his bunk pillow. Kind of doesn't really acknowledge what you're doing. What do you want to do as you creep around below decks?
I casually walk like I'm allowed, and then walk towards where the food would be, I guess.
Yeah, it's a little more than a cupboard that acts as a sort of pantry. There are a few things in there, mostly sort of dried and salted goods that last for a long time. The same kind of stuff that you'd find in your rations, though more plentiful.
Well, yeah, I'll try to grab something out of there.
Give me a sleight of hand check. For the record, Leo is now level 2, so he has a jack of all trades bonus to all of his stats, which means he has a +1 now to every single skill. Yeah, you swipe a salted ham, which you can add to your
A fucking ham?
a whole ham that would normally feed most of the crew. He now just has it and pops it in a bag.
Christ.
I would also like, just to test my luck, I would like to walk up to the chef.
Okay.
I'd like to say, Lycos told me that I could have some sort of treat that you had hidden away.
He did he?
Yeah, he did.
Persuasion check.
Oh, sorry. There we go.
Yeah, deception would be the actual thing. That's what I meant. You're correct. Well done. You should be DM. He kind of rubs his chin. He's a very thin-looking, sort of probably barely out of his teens, like early 20s man. He's got a thin patch of hair, very ugly, lots of sort of acne scars pock his entire face, and he's looking up at you through these sort of gaunt eyes, and he looks across you for a moment, scratching his chin. Well, when you say a treat, you mean Lycos's treat?
Just something nice to put in my mouth, you know? I don't know, he said you'd handle it.
Well,
Put it in your mouth.
he scratches his chin again. I guess he means... how strange. He gets out of the bunk, heads over to the area where that pantry was. And he looks around across the other members of the crew, and then he just bangs on the deck, and one of the planks lifts up. He moves it out of the way and pulls out a small bottle, puts the plank back down in place, and then heads over to you. Well, there's not much left, but I suppose if Lycos said it's all right, it's all right.
Yes.
And hands you
he
a
did.
bottle of liquid.
Oh, I love liquid.
It's rum.
Uh,
And he heads back to his bunk.
he told me that. I know. Yeah, sure.
All right.
Well, good night. I will head upstairs. Thank you.
All right. Hey, can we have some more
Yeah.
songs tomorrow
Sure.
while we
Okay,
work?
Sure. Yeah, no problem.
You're pretty good with that thing.
Uh,
All the way upstairs. Yeah, and you head back upstairs. So you can add a salted ham, which will last a long time and is worth 10 rations, and a bottle of rum, or sort of half a bottle of rum,
yeah.
to your equipment inventory.
Then, as I come upstairs, I guess, I assume that I come out on deck and I... okay, and I will approach the Aurora.
Okay. Yeah, so you climb
Um,
sort of back over, and I'll just throw you over here. Wait.
Yeah. Mm. And I do remember I have the ham, and I would really like to eat it, and I figured we would have to cook it, so I'll just lean over. I'll say,
You don't need to cook it.
"Oh God damn it." Okay, Leo thinks though he's
Okay,
stupid.
yeah.
Something. And he would just ask like, "Dude, you wouldn't happen to know how to make a fire, would you?"
I am not making up a fire. What are you talking about?
Listen, I got a ham, all right? And if we can make a fire, we can cook it.
A ham?
A salted ham, yes. And I show it. I just bring it out a little bit to not show like it's like I got this.
Yeah, it's already cooked.
What?
It's already cooked. Do you see the coloring in it? It's cooked.
Oh, I'll slide it back in. Thank you.
Wait, but why you have that out? Let me have a little bit.
I look back and I see if he can see me. I guess I'll just rip off a piece or something and be like, okay, yeah. Don't tell the others.
And she like reaches out of the bag like with little fingertips and like grabs, snatches it, and pulls it back into the bag really quick.
By the way, why are you in a bag?
Damien.
I look at Damien.
That's all she can say.
Come again?
Why is why is she in a bag?
I'm
I
cold.
look over from the area where I'm sitting over the ledge and said she was cold.
Yeah, I'm cold.
Well, I have a blanket. You could have asked me.
She's on a bedroll. The bedroll's much warmer than the blanket.
So you don't want a blanket? Okay, fine, yeah, sure.
Get the blanket too. Get the blanket as well.
All right, I'll pull it out and hand her the blanket.
And she like does the same thing and reaches up with like tiny fingers and like starts to thread the blanket into the bedroll like
yeah, to
a
hide from Damien. We're like, okay, take
like a backwards magic trick.
I start sniffing the air. Can I roll something to see if I smell the ham?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
This is meta. Fucking.
You do not smell the ham.
Yes.
You catch a strong smell of sort of fish and seawater as it kind of rolls along the edge of the boat there. It's a very
I look over
similar
it.
smell.
I look over at Leo.
I wait.
Where have you been?
Oh, I was downstairs. I lost my flute again. Could
You lost
imagine?
what?
My flute that I recently purchased. You remember the one I lost?
Yes. Why are you so wrong?
What?
Are you okay? Something's wrong.
Oh no. I went down for my flute and I found it. I lost it while we were eating earlier.
Cock my head to the side at Leo for a second. I'm gonna roll it. Son of a bitch. Don't even roll anything. Don't even roll anything. In fact, do roll. Because if you roll it too, I'll laugh.
Wait, do you want me to roll insight?
No, I think either roll. He has to roll against insight. What is it?
You sound like a robot.
Yeah, you sound like a robot right now.
Ah, why am I a robot? Why me?
Is Steam downloading? I don't know.
Damien's face peels back and reveals that he's in fact a Terminator.
Domo arigato, Mr. Robot.
No.
You sound kind of
Okay,
robot
you're good.
two-ish.
You're good now, Tiger. You're good.
Oh, do I sound robot?
Oh, you did for a second.
I kind of look over him, and what is the roll against insight? If you have to roll against it,
You're trying to read his. Wait, what are you trying to do? You trying to lie?
read like his body language and tell if because he seems very what's the word I'm looking for? Very not sure of himself.
If
which makes me
you're
question him.
lying, it's deception.
Oh, you want me to do deception? Okay,
Yeah.
here we go.
If you're
here
lying,
we go.
yeah.
You ready?
Roll 2.
Yeah,
What
I
was
kind
it?
of look at
Sorry,
him real
what?
quick, cock my head to the side, and I turn back around and I lean back over the barge.
I reach in towards my my clothing and I pull out meat and start eating it.
Lycos, from behind you guys, kind of lets out a yawn and then shouts down, "Paladin,
Oh, yes?
come here a second."
All right. How can I help?
Like as you head up, he kind of looks you over. Do you have any anything on you that represents your god Torm? Any symbols or anything?
I don't think I do. Oh no, I have a little necklace. Please don't do this to me.
With the gauntlet on it?
I assume so, yes.
Lycos kind of looks you up and down and says, "So where are you from?"
I hate you so much, Brad.
I
I
do
hate
this to
you
you
so much.
every 4 weeks.
I know, but I've only just got my computer back. God damn it, let me get my notes. I'm sorry.
Be your character. You are your character.
He's looking at you a little confused for a moment
Yeah.
as he looks at your
I'm from down the south.
necklace. From south. Whereabouts south? I can't pinpoint the accent.
Give me one. I hate you so much, Brad.
Looking at your
I'm bringing the quality down right now.
looking at your gauntlet. I'm just gonna keep doing this to you until you know the answer. He says, "What god's that then?"
Tom.
What one's Torm, the fighter?
Brad, I hate you so much. I can't do this right now. Please don't put me on the spot like this.
He like looks out over the waters at your confusion and says, "I only pray to Timora, Lady Luck. Get me up and down this here river, safe. Get me back into the arms of my wife or anyone else I find."
Well, I'm happy for you. You pray to whomever you want. Just stay loyal to your deity.
Reckon you can send up a little prayer to Timora for me? She might listen to somebody as divine as yourself.
Again, I'm not familiar with Timora.
Give me a religion check. I'll give you information if you
Okay. I'm not ready for this. I hate you so
Hey, yeah, you know Timora. Timora is the goddess of good fortune, and she blesses those who take risks, and essentially she's kind of the ultimate god to worship if you live in Las Vegas. Yeah, goddess of luck. You don't need to know any more than that.
And place a hand on his shoulder. And
Closes
I
his
look
eyes.
to the stars. Timora, I'm going to take a chance. And maybe you can hear me. And if so, please guide us safely to our destination. Give this man the opportunity to see his wife again. The cards are in your hands. Thank you.
Thank you.
Give me a religion check.
Oh, fucking again.
Hey.
Yeah, for a moment you feel like a strange tingling sensation on the ends of your fingers and the ends of your toes.
Oh.
And Lycos, with his eyes closed, opens his eyes, looks up at the sky, kisses a necklace with a coin on it, and then nods at you. Well, thanks very much.
That's quite all right. Let's awkwardly shuffle back down.
Yeah, you now have the ability to cast magic. Well done. You've officially unlocked it.
Thank you. Also, Brad, fuck you, dude.
No, fuck you. You have one job. You have failed your tranquility check, however.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. You don't even know what that means. None of you do.
No!
No one does. Not yet. So, let me just write that down. Alright. Yeah, like...
Listen, tranquility.
A little while later, the breeze picks up a little bit more, and that chill sort of settles in. Dorora, you probably feel it more than anyone since you're already cold, and the sort of very late autumn, very early winter northern winds here kind of start to set in. It's around this time you guys would probably want to settle into your bedrolls. Lycos shrugs on a huge, great fur coat, a big woolen and fur coat. Sort of gives himself a little stretch, but he looks half asleep up there at the wheel. What do you guys want to do? It's getting damn cold.
I look over at Dorora, and I kind of stare at her for a second while she's in my bedroll, and I look over at the captain. You said he's like half asleep? Is that what you said?
Yeah, he's like half asleep. Whoever is normally up here is almost always asleep.
I
at
look
this
to
point.
him, and I kind of walk over. I walk over to him. I walk over to him and ask, Sir, sorry to bother you. We do have bedrolls, but is there anywhere that you have that would be safe and warm that we could go that might be better than out here? It's not a big deal, but I figured I'd ask.
Well, I can get you some hay.
That'd be wonderful.
Pop you lot on some hay. Yeah.
Where I can actually, if you'd like to keep doing what you're doing, if you can direct me to the hay, I can grab that.
He just shouts, Barney! And Barney, who you know to be the very, very happy, almost puppy-like, but dim member of the crew, pops his head up out of the hull. He looks kind of rubbing sleep from his eyes, but he appears very quickly. Yes, Captain? Get him some hay. They're cold again. All right. And he heads back down into the hull.
Can I attempt to follow him and say, I'll help you?
I mean, yeah, he disappears and you can head on down.
Okay. I shuffle along to go try to help him find him.
Sure, yeah. As you go down there, there's just like an area below decks where the they have like a little bit of hay. It's not an enormous amount, but they use it to stuff their own bunks. And Barney's just pulling some out, just armfuls under his arms as you approach. All right, how's it going? Cold, is it?
It's very cold, yes, and I kind of look at where he's grabbing the hay out of, and can I do a perception check to see if I notice any, like, good-sized openings in the hay area where I could slide in to go to try to sleep and hide?
This is, so below decks there's like a tiny little hallway kind of thing. It's like 5 foot across max, with the cupboards and mess kitcheny area on either side. Then there's just an area where just about 6 bunks fit. If you laid down in the hallway, possibly you, maybe one other person could fit, just if you laid perfectly straight down and the other person laid at your head or your feet in a perfectly straight line.
If it was just me by myself.
Yeah, you could technically sleep there, but Lycos doesn't like anyone sleeping there in case they need to get through.
Okay.
Probably would already have been through it, but...
Can I say then, I look at the guy that had the hay, that he's still kind of looking at me, right, I assume?
Yeah, he's just filling his arms.
I look at him and go, all right, I'll help. And I literally bend down and I try to grab as much hay as my big arms can grab. So, like, if I could grab an entire hair bale, I will. You let me know what you want me to roll.
Yeah, there's not a heck of a lot under there, but you can grab an armful quite easily. I mean, Barney doesn't try and stop you. As you do so, though, he looks over at you and says, "So were you in Luskan long?" As you both start pulling hay out of it's just a cupboard basically full of hay.
I kind of stop what I'm doing, stop moving, kind of freeze in my chinks for a minute. I go, I was. I ask why.
Did you meet any of the ship's captains?
Could have. May I ask again why you're inquiring?
I've always wanted to meet one of them. It's really cool. I'd much rather be out on the high seas working for one of the high captains of Luskundan on a little barge going up and down the river. I was
What's this little
wondering.
guy look like again?
He looks like Shmee from Peter Pan.
I look down at him as he says that, and I understand it's probably very well paid as well, but I realize that the majority of the people that are there are give a kind of head cock, and they're not the best people in the world. Most of those captains have done very bad things to get to where they are.
Oh, is that right? Oh, he kind of looks a little forlorn, a little heartbroken over that. It's just, it sounds far more exciting, you know?
Oh, it's exciting. It's brilliancy. It's awesome. I mean, dangerous, and kind of look down at his little chubby body, and you have to be pretty in shape to be able to keep up with those mates. They're quick and they're swashbucklers and very fast. Not saying you couldn't do it, but you're a very nice man. I'd hate to see anything bad happen to you.
He kind of looks down at himself, looks over at you, looks at your sort of enormous, ripped Dragonborn body, and then he sort of smiles and says, "Well, I can name all the captains. Do you know all 5 high captains?
I don't. Please do.
If you can name me 2, I'll give you something special."
Kind of looks over and he kind of looks to his left and he looks to his right for a minute. Kind of looks down at the ground and he goes, I'll be honest. Pretty late for me and my brain isn't working very well, but curiosity's killing me. I ask what you would have given me if I would have been able to tell you.
He pulls a strange-looking coin. At first it glimmers as if it's gold. It's a little larger than your average gold coin, and there's it's been minted with an elven-looking woman on the front, and it sort of shimmers green. It's a sort of a more of a greeny blue color, and he looks it over and says, "I found this, I did, on the shores of Mirabar a few weeks ago. I don't know what it is, but I think it's worth something. Give me a history check."
You know what's funny?
Go on.
What was that? You want me to give you what?
A history check.
Okay. I also have an idea.
Yeah, I think you probably know. Yeah, it's an Electrum coin.
Electrum coin.
Yeah.
Wait, no, I don't know.
There's an old ancient currency that isn't really used anymore.
Okay.
It's not worth as much as a gold coin, but it's worth more in the sense that it's not really a used currency anymore.
Okay.
All
All right.
They're rare.
This is what I do. This is what I do then. I look at him for a minute and I look at the coin and what'd you say it was called again? Just so I say it right.
An Electrum.
That's actually an electrum. It's actually not worth as much as a gold. Kind of look at him for a minute, and I reach into my back, and I reach kind of like down along my side, and kind of like trying to find this little squish thing along my leg, and all of a sudden this little like gooey stuck thing, I pull it off my leg, and I come over it. I have this doll in my hand of Captain Rethnor from when we were way back there, and I go, just to remind you, I did remember one of them, Captain Rethnor. This may or may not be a, kind of look at it for a minute. Well, it was a doll, and I hand it to him, and I go, I'll give you this Captain Rethnor doll for that coin, and if you don't want to, it's fine, but
He
realistically,
snatches the
not-
doll, gives you the coin, eyes wide, drops the hay that's in his arms. This is amazing. Look at that. Look at that artwork. That's perfect. It's perfectly stitched on the bottom. It's not. He's just enamored with it. This is great. Thank you very much. That's
Put the
amazing.
coin in my pocket.
And for less than
I
a
bend
gold
down and I
piece.
pick his hay up too, so I have all of the hay that he had too in my hand.
Yep.
And
He's
I go,
just looking over his doll.
I assume that they're out there pretty cold, and it looks like you probably are getting pretty tired. I can take this back up there, no problem. If you want to head to bed with your new friend.
Thanks very much. See you later,
You're
Damien.
very welcome.
Hey, maybe
Remember-
you can teach me how to do a pull-up.
I could do that. We'll work on that. Tomorrow morning, wake me.
You got it.
Work on it right away in the morning.
Yeah, he's looking over his little doll.
Can I roll a perception check as he's looking at the doll? Is there anybody else around in the room we're in?
Yeah, the others are there, but they're all asleep.
Is there anything else in the room outside of him and me awake, looking at his doll, and me looking around for anything else that could be of fortune?
Give me an
Perception?
investigation check. Looking around.
I'm gonna go
not
ahead and use
really.
reckless attack.
No,
That's how that
there's-
works, right?
There's not really anything of like particular worth here anyway, and also just through being here for the 2 weeks or so that you've been on this barge and wandering around, there really isn't anything of worth. All of the people on here are poor. Nobody seems to have anything of incredible worth. You
Okay.
maybe would have seen Barney looking at this coin or something like that, but not really 100% known what it was. But generally, yeah, nothing else. Barney heads back to his bunk and gets in.
I make my way outside to everybody else with the hay.
Hmm.
When I get there, I start putting the hay down around them. What are they doing? Sleep already.
I'm guessing they're settling in for bed.
Aurora's like hasn't even bothered giving Leo back his blanket. She's just like chill, like silently praying that he doesn't say anything about it. That's all she's doing. Laying there, like very obviously, like waiting for someone to be like, "Give me back my bedroll. Give me back my blanket. You're cool."
I'm just sitting with my back to the wall of the barge. Would it be a wall? The where I was leaning against. I'm just resting my back up against it.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. No, I'm sitting on the side of the boat with my feet dingling outside. Just saying like I'm not really tired just yet. Just sitting there, just hanging out. Also, Tiger's not here.
Okay, fair enough. He's done his bit.
Mm-hmm.
Lycos kind of coughs a little at the top. Bard,
Yes.
come here.
Yeah, I jump down and walk up to him. Yeah.
Yeah, try some of this. He pulls a little flask out from his inside pocket. A little metal flask.
Okay, I open it and I. Smell it.
Sorry about that.
It's all right. Give me a perception
Hey.
check.
That's my worst.
You get a pretty strong whiff of what would to us in the modern age smell like paint thinner.
I'll cough from the smell. What's in it? What's this?
It's a little concoction that I made for the colder nights out here. You're a bard, you've probably been all around, ain't ya?
Yes. I have not smelled anything quite like this, though, I must say.
Try a bit. Go on.
I wouldn't want to take it from you, you know? You don't have a lot left.
Oh, I've got
Why
barrels
waste
of
it
it.
on me.
Barrels and barrels of it. It's easy to make.
Oh, well then. I mean, okay, fine. And I take a sip of it.
Give me a constitution saving throw.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
When my Discord cut out for a minute, did anybody take hay from me?
No.
Good. I used all of it to myself and buried myself in hay. And I'm not kidding. That's what I said before I
Yeah.
lost it. I buried myself in hay.
Okay.
Only my face shows.
Yeah, so you barely sort of stop yourself from just coughing up and spluttering your way through this, but it burns as it goes down. It doesn't just warm you, it burns your esophagus, but it doesn't do anything untoward to you. You know, you're right.
This is great.
Don't
What's
lie.
in it? No, it's... Oh, whew. What's in it?
It's made from parsnip.
Oh, is it now? Well, wow. Do you mind if I keep... Oh, that's so good. Can I keep it?
My eyes widen from my hay-stacked face. What did you just say?
Lycos pockets the drink.
Oh, dang. What? No, nothing. We are drinking.
Why do you always lie to me? I know you're lying.
What? No. What?
Kinda.
We're drinking.
Kind of noticed me kind of go back into a sleep, almost like I was daydreaming. I will kill you.
Are you talking to me now? I don't. Okay.
And your mother. Go back to sleep. And I'm asleep.
Lycos looks at you and says, "You said you're from Neverwinter.
Yes. Yes. The very heart of Neverwinter.
It's a lovely place, Neverwinter.
Mm.
They say it's
It's
warmed by a fire elemental, and that's how the water stays unfrozen."
That's what they say. I'm not sure if it's that true though. But
You
I haven't seen it.
you know any songs from Neverwinter?
Yeah, I know a few.
I'd like to hear a couple of Neverwinter songs tomorrow. That'd be good.
Yeah, maybe I have one. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I've
say a
seen you
couple,
with
but, you know,
a-
in my throat, so yeah.
I've seen you with a strange-looking little bottle. What's in it?
What? What bottle?
It's got green liquid in it.
Is he referring to a rum?
I don't know.
When did you see this?
I've seen you. It's in your stuff. You think we ain't been through your stuff? All of us have been through all of your stuff. We had to check.
Oh yes, the green stuff. Yes. What about it?
Well, what is it? Some sort of Neverwinter rum? I'd like to have some Neverwinter rum.
I mean, you can have some. To be honest, I'm not sure what it is at all.
You don't know what it is?
No, I got it from a fellow back in Luskin.
What was his name?
I can't recall at all. He said he was a fan, I believe.
Fan of you?
Yeah.
Ah, you must be pretty famous then. Pretty boy like you?
You know.
Well, if you ever crack that bottle of Neverwinter rum, I'll have a little taste.
Sure. Maybe you wouldn't happen to have any rum of your own, would you?
Nah. Give me an insight check.
That's a shame. Okay.
You have to beat a 15. See, you know he's lying, but it's really convincing.
Well, that's a shame then. I would have liked some rum, but
Yeah, I could do with some rum. I got this though. Pops open his flask again. You want a bit
I
more?
back away because I don't want to. No, it's fine. I can smell it.
You best get to sleep then, boy.
Yes. Thank you for the beverage.
He pops the flask back in his pocket as you head off.
By the way, how much further?
Well, about 2 days, I reckon. We should arrive sunset, day after tomorrow.
Great.
Dorora, are you still awake?
Yes.
Will you give me a perception check?
Perception. Okay.
Kaval, are you still awake?
I think I'm slowly drifting off, so sort of half conscious.
Give me a
at the
perception
moment.
check with disadvantage. And Leo, give me a perception check.
I swear to God.
I swear to God. As the group settle in to the area behind these planks of wood, cutting off a lot of the bitter cold wind from just full on hitting them in the face as they try to sort of sleep. Lycos at the wheel of the ship, kind of eyes half lidded, looking out into the dark, vaguely moonlit river ahead of him. Everybody fails to notice, including Lycos, the soft thudding dudum, 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 as someone, somebody climbs onto the front of the ship, and then the very soft padding of multiple feet moving very stealthily down the ship towards our sleepy group. And we will return
No!
after the break.
I always knew you were a fuckboy, bro.
Jesus Christ, no!
returned. We have returned.
Puppy.
Hello.
Sis.
It's yay. It's yay. All right. Now then. Unfortunately, Damien is asleep by Tiger's own admission.
Hey,
in a
I needed some rest.
massive bale of hay, basically. I'm gonna give you a little sleepy symbol there. I'm gonna give everyone else a little prone symbol, and we are going to all have to sit here and weather what can only be described as the storm. As you're all sort of settling in for the night here, there is a strange padding noise that starts moving quietly down the front of the ship. The front of the ship. That's how much I know about ships. And yeah, like for essentially the rest of us, we would see or hear dun, 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 on the wood. You'd hear these soft, almost padded footsteps as a set of creatures start moving towards the group, settled down. Most of them in bedrolls or maybe, I don't know, a bale of hay. Lycos kind of half asleep at the wheel, not really looking out, not really on high alert for danger, just doing his job, heading down the usually fairly safe river. When suddenly, all of these creatures come running along the ship, and what you essentially see here are these creatures known as lichens. They're small, sort of thin, werewolf-type creatures. They're sort of wild and mangy. Their patchy fur sort of spreads thin across a very wiry humanoid frame. Yet underneath there is kind of a sort of wild strength to their muscular structure. Everyone give me a nature check for sort of when you see these things, to see if anyone really knows anything about them.
I assume you don't want me to do one?
Yeah, you as well. This is just everyone for when you eventually think about it. Yeah, no one really knows anything about them. Everybody's heard of were creatures. There are several different types. There's werewolves, werebears, were-rats, and they're shape-shifting humans, the same as, you know, popular lore culture. Damien, you know the difference between a werewolf and a lichen. Lichens are just sort of low-level werebeasts that are barely even worth the were name among their kind. They're more wolf than human, and they're unable to shapeshift. So when you sort of finally make eyes with these things, you'll recognize generally what they are. However, at this point, everyone needs to roll me initiative, but the creatures get a surprise round as you enter round 1. Nope, round 0. Bumping up. Alright, so how many have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got a 9. We got a 3. This one's slow. This one's asthmatic. He can't help it, okay?
How do
This
we?
mirror is D20 like really laggy right now.
Roll 20. Not for me.
Well,
Your
it's
internet's
good for me.
sucky tonight, I think, Tiger.
Oh no, it's good now. It was
So,
just being dumb.
click on your token, Dorora.
Thank you. That's
And
exactly.
then
You
click-
knew exactly what I was.
Yeah, and then click on initiative, and it will roll it into the thing. However, nobody else clicked on their token, so let me just add everyone here. Leo
Alright.
got a 19. Kaval's in there, Damien's in there, Dora's in there. And, oh, I forgot for my boy here. He's not a bandit, but he does have the stats of a bandit for when you all inevitably abuse me for... Lycos is a bandit and you said he was nice. He's not. An 8. Okay, so we have our running order. All of you failed your perception checks and stuff. So, essentially a surprise round is a round that happens before the turn order as it goes. So this suddenly happens. So again, these creatures suddenly like round the corner at the top of this wood. A few of them running along the top, sort of peer over the top and just jump down on you as a group. One of them running up the side. The first one, this guy is going to jump down next to Dorora. And just as you sort of see this thing, the yellow eyes of this wolf-like human lands next to you, and you see these jaws open up, come in and attempt to bite at you. The creature, what the fuck, is going to fail his attempt here
Thank God.
to bite
Thank God.
at you as your. Because we looked at it at the beginning, your armor class is a 13. Although I think that is. Let me check here. Yeah. All right. I don't know why it doesn't have a. Let me just check that I've set this up right. Okay. It just doesn't have damage. I don't know why. All right. Next one comes launching off the top here, landing next to Leo. A 19, is that enough to beat your armor class there, Mr. Leo?
Core. Yes, 13 is my armor core.
So, as you kind of, you hear Dorora, as this thing thuds and lands, snarling next to her, bite at her, you suddenly notice that one has appeared behind you, a loud crash as it sort of barrels into the side of the barge here and bites down, dealing 7 damage to you, Mr. Stringard. This one here is actually going to jump and leap over the other side and attempt to bite at Mr. Lycos, who suddenly, eyes wide, puts a hand down towards his scimitar, and he is also going to take a bite of damage. He takes a bite of 4. And you see suddenly Lycos and lets out a shout. Get up, you lot! This one comes running in next to you, Damien. You are fully asleep as he bites at you. 21 is a hit.
Shit.
And yeah, Damien, fully asleep in this bale of hay, suddenly is woken up as you feel these horrible, mangy
He did 9 damage?
jaws bite into you. Yeah, you're like asleep, dude. It just rips a chunk of flesh from you. You wake very quickly and see suddenly this thing that your brain inevitably kicks in and you recognize to be a werewolf. No, this is too small, too poorly structured to be a werewolf. It's possibly this lichen. You read about these things in a book a long time ago at wherever it was that you studied. And then last, the lichen here, once again, Dorora. This one appears behind you. So, the weaker of the members of the group here, the less armored bard and the no armored sorcerer, taking this thing's going to crit you, as it's going to deal 42. 12.
Oh my god! No.
You still up?
I'm still up.
All right, so
I'm not.
So
Oh,
barely
Barely up though.
barely even avoiding the first one that kind of lands next to you. The one just appears behind you, and you just see Dorora let out a cry as this thing bites into her flesh of her back, tearing an enormous chunk. A warm rush of blood falls and hits the deck of the Nimbus barge, and the lichens here sort of let out a howl as they come in once again. Leo, you're down?
Well, if that hit both of us?
No, just Aurora.
Okay. Well, okay, no, yeah, then I'm still up, yeah.
All right, so everyone is awake. So I know you didn't get hit, Caval, but I mean, definitely all of this commotion has woken you, and you can all sort of spring to your feet. Leo first. What do you want to do?
I would like to. I should back off. I really should back off. Oh, I'll use my dissonant whisper. On I would, because I can't use it again, right? Oh, I can next round, right? Okay.
Yeah, everyone's had a full rest and everything, so you have
Mhm.
all of your spells, all of your stuff, everything like that.
Shit, because I can't take another hit. And I can only put it to one creature, correct? can't use it.
Dissonant whisper, dissonant whisper. Yeah, only one.
I am literally terrified right now.
Yeah, me too. I really don't know what to do. Oh wait, what about vicious mockery? Does that work on several?
Nope.
Wouldn't that be like? God damn it!
You don't really have an AoE thing. Remember, you're very much so
Yeah.
a support character.
Yeah.
Your most
which is why
damaging thing is dissonant whispers, though.
Can I? Shit. I have to move because I will die. I'm gonna move up towards like right below Lycus, I guess, like as far away as I can go.
Okay. Bear in mind, if you leave this thing's threat range,
Oh, right.
both of these two will get a free bite.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to use dissonant whisper on the one in front of me.
All right.
Or do they look? Could I take him with a knife? How do they look? Do they look very meaty?
No, they look fairly thin. They almost look just the same sort of size as you. They do look like they've got a little more wild muscle to them, but they're very thin looking. They're reminiscent of sort of a mangy dog kind of thing, like underfed, patchy fur, but the humanoid face is bent and mangled into a kind of horrible, monstrous wolf shape. Their bodies are upright, but they've got these kind of large hands which are half hand, half paw. Yeah, but it's almost a human body with just these horrible, twisted wolf-like features.
Okay, well then I'm gonna risk. I'm gonna, after the bite, just in sheer panic, like almost reflex, I'm just gonna go for my rapier, just pull it out and like quickly try to get a stab in.
All right.
On the one in front of me.
Roll me that attack roll then. 8 is a miss.
Ah!
Your wounded body does not react quick enough as you spring upwards and attempt to lunge in with this thin blade. The lichen, this thin, horrible thing, watches the blade glint in the moonlight and avoids the stab. You have a bonus action on which you can do a bonus action.
Can I heal myself?
Yes.
Yeah, I will do that. Healing word.
Healing word. How does that look?
I don't know. I just bring out a. I would imagine that my hands would turn, glow slightly green, as I touch where he bite me. I can't remember where it was.
Neither can I. But yeah, you touch where it bit you, wherever you imagine it in your heads, collective audience.
And I'll just like rub it.
Cool. Yeah. Roll the healing word.
Whoop. Wait. Level 1. Yeah.
You can only do level 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you close the wound somewhat and heal yourself for 5 HP, bringing us around to Kaval. So Kaval, you wake up and there's just blood and terror, Lycos screaming, Leo covered in blood, Dorora covered in blood, Damien wrestling with this small wolf-like creature, again bleeding. How would you like to react?
All right. Right off the bat, I see Dorora bleeding out. I run over to her. Can I pull her back and take her place?
That's a very good question. And you know what?
Bless you.
Uh,
Bless you so much right now.
You can, but it will give everything an attack of opportunity on her.
Oh, oh. Okay, shit. I just got a new spell, didn't I?
You did.
I just-
Feel free to ask
Wait.
me what it does if you.
Shield of Faith.
Shield of Faith, faith. Yes, so Shield of Faith will give Dorora an extra +2 to her AC. That also casts on a bonus action, I think, so you'll get to be able to do your main action on top of that, as well as your movement, etc.
So... Oh god, I hope this doesn't backfire. Oh god,
It's a good plan.
I'm so
that
nervous
helps.
right now. Okay, I wanna run up to her and I'm gonna cast Shield of Faith, like, I guess my hands glow like a... Is it like a spell kind of thing, or...?
It's definitely a spell, yeah. It's a divine sort of radiant spell that comes from the divine god that you believe in, Torm. So however
Alright.
you want it to look is how it looks, for sure.
So my hands are just gonna glow. I'm muttering something under my breath as I grab her by her scarves and pull her behind me.
Well, you're going to do it? You're going to drag her out with the Shield of Faith on?
Well, with Shield of Faith on, and I'm gonna fucking just clench.
And pray that it
Just
works.
clench.
All right. So, Dorora, if you're just willing and okay for this to happen, then I'll just allow it to happen without any checks.
Yeah, no, she's fucking down. Oh god, no.
All right. So we'll say you can swap from
Plus
here to
2
here.
AC.
You have a 15 AC as the first one of these 3 here attempt to bite. 23.
Oh god, that didn't work.
And
That
with
didn't
that, I'm guessing this is
I'm
probably
down.
going
I'm
to
sure I'm down. I'm down.
bites
Yep.
into Dorora. Kaval, you're dragging her away, and suddenly the first one bites into Dorora's leg. The
Damn it.
putting Dorora down to 0 and
-1.
KO as Dorora's limp body is wrenched free of this thing's bite and thrown to the ground behind where you are, Kaval. Her limp body just thuds to the hard wooden barge ground, and you've essentially, I think, lost that spell as well. I might be wrong, because I guess your concentration's coming, so I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see how I feel about that in a second, and that will be your full action as well. Now,
Oh, but I still have...
what?
I still have another action, don't I? That was a bonus?
No,
that a
your bonus was
action?
Shield of Faith. Your action was to drag Dorora out of the way and get in her position. And yeah, she got
Is that
bit.
my turn over then?
Yes, ma'am. I'm afraid
Oh,
so.
Can I just turn to them and just, oh fuck.
Yes, you can. As the first lichen on your right here tries to bite you with a miss. The one up above Leo, snapping and biting at Leo, misses also. And then
Why couldn't this be me?
the one Lycos up at the top, Lycos and the lichens, he brings out his scimitar as this one attempts to bite him. Does so. Ooh. Let's see what happens to.
Not Lycos, no?
Not Lycos, no. I think he is still up, barely. The he brings his scimitar up. It just nudges this thing off from biting at his neck, but it buries its jaws and teeth into Lycos' shoulder, bringing his scimitar arm down limp to one side. He lets out a cry as the scimitar hits the ground and stumbles backwards. He looks like he's on his last sea legs there, struggling with the creature in front of him. He pulls out a dagger with his right hand, and this is going to be his attack roll. Hits it, stabs this small dagger into this thing's stomach, and deals 4 damage to this lichen up the top as this thing just suddenly he stabs into this thing's stomach, and stumbling, he lets go of the dagger with it still embedded in the thing's gut, and looks up at him and says, "I hope I give you gut rot." And then it is Daurora's turn, who needs to give me a death saving throw, please.
I don't like it.
One fail. So you have on your little character sheet there the little makes and fails tick boxes. So anything below a 10 is a fail. If you get a 1, it is 2 fails. If you get a 20, you just get up. You have 1 HP and you come back to life. If you get 3 fails, you'll be dead. If you get 3 makes, you'll be stabilized. And then Damien, just next to you, this one comes in again, bites into you, rending forward further flesh, and it's another 5 damage to Damien as it bites into your side, Damien. It tears at your flesh. Give me a strength save, actually.
Strength save?
Yeah, I've completely forgotten, as I always do, about strength saves. Yeah, you have to make an 11, or it sort of pulls you to the ground. And it is your turn.
So the first thing I do is look over at the others out of pure shock and confusion, and I reach back and I grab my greatsword. Before I grab my greatsword, though, I go ahead and go into rage because, well, yeah. So I go into rage, and I kind of look around to get it. I look at the one that's kind of like right there, kind of like I assume he's kind of almost got my arm in his mouth still a little bit.
Yep.
And I look at him, and 16 good enough?
Absolutely a hit.
I look at him for a second there, and I just look at him, and anything, is he good? Is he still alive after 10?
How do you want to stab at him? Tell me the action that you make. He is still alive.
As my arms kind of his mouth, I'm like, oh, fucking lichens! And I grab the great axe out of the back, kind of like between the wood and my back, and I grab it, and I go back as far as I can, and I just slice it as hard as I can right at its neck.
And yeah, you bring this thing in. It kind of lifts a shoulder up, and the sword kind of buries itself more into the thick flesh that sits just above the shoulder, as opposed to really burying itself into his neck. It does a hell of a lot of damage, though. You see its arm, which was up, kind of
So wait, it did more damage, by the way, because I'm in rage.
It does more damage. How much more damage?
Is it? When you're in rage, what's the damage? 2 more damage to attack. Sorry, so it's 12 damage altogether. I apologize.
Then it buries itself deep into this thing's neck, and a hot gush of thick lichen blood pours down the greatsword over your arms, and the thing just falls down to one side, completely dead.
I kind of look over after I kill it, and I kind of look over at the others. I'm like, quit! You can't be pussies now! Wake up! And I look over at him again, and I would assume that my turn's pretty much over. Am I able to stand up, or am I up already? Was I already up?
Yeah, I just assumed that you guys would stand up. You don't really need to deal with it unless it looks like you're going to run away.
Cool. So I
use half your movement, though, if you want to do anything crazy.
Cool. So I stand up, and then the first thing I do is I move over to the middle of where these other shit lichens are at, like the 2 right here. I move right to both of them.
Okay.
Now, wait a second, actually. Can I do that, actually, without getting attacked by the one? If not, I'm just going to stay.
Which one?
The one that's in my kitty corner.
You will get attacked by this guy. If you're going to here, did you say?
No, I'm just going to stay.
Okay. Yeah, you get an attack of opportunity for sort of moving through one's, what's it? The jog it. Threat range.
I'll just go ahead and stay.
All right.
Staying seems good.
The one in front of Kaval there, he's going to come in and try and bite at the very heavily armored paladin. He's sort of looking for a weak spot, but he just kind of goes in with a wild bite, missing, biting onto one side of one of your gauntlets there. You see his tooth kind of crack as he bites down onto this thick metal that sits around your hands. Leo, it's your turn.
Can I still use my healing word, yeah?
Yeah.
I I'll turn around to the Aurora then, because that would work, right? If I roll it correctly, I can still get her up with that.
Yeah, you can wake her up,
Yeah.
and heal her.
Oh
Right.
my fucking
I
God
just
bless
kinda
you.
like,
I literally been sitting here like almost in
No,
tears.
no. And I use my healing word. So once again, my hand turns green. Both my hands, I just turn around pretty much and just like lay my hand on her in a non-weird way. I'm like, "Rah!"
And yeah, you heal Dorora there with further healing magic, giving Dorora, you have 7 HP now. You're awake, but you're kind of laying on the ground. The weapon, the wounds that you've got on your body kind of healed somewhat from Leo's magical tongue.
Thank you.
That was a bonus action, Leo. You can still do a main action.
Yes, good. I want to try to throw out my meat as far as I can on the deck.
All right. Give me a strength
Let me,
check.
God damn it! I don't know my ABCs. No strength. Wait, is that its stealth, survival, sleight of hand? No?
Just a straight strength. Just click on the word strength on the far left.
Oh, on that. Yeah. Oh God, I'm super bad at that.
What is that? Let me see. 7. So it doesn't go too far. You sort of just throw the ham over to here. Let me just, if my, bam. You see that? It just appears, lands on the what's it over there. So going from left to right, the 3 immediately around you are going to make intelligence checks to decide whether they chase after it. They have to beat a 10. On their turn, they're going to run for that meat. As all of them, their heads just watch this meat fly over them, and they confused. Their nostrils flare as they smell this strange smell, and the wolf, the animalistic part of their instincts, takes over, and they just can't help it. They just want to chase this thing which has just been thrown. Kaval, it's your turn.
All right. Okay. I'm hoping I've still. Yeah, I haven't used my gauntlets since that fateful day. All right. I'm gonna turn the gauntlets on. Just flicking switches or whatever. I'm gonna. Please, Tom. I'm gonna go for the motherfucker right in front of me. Cock my fist back as far as I can.
Yeah, the cogs and the pistons starting to whirl. Roll me a D2 as these sort of huge steam-powered gauntlets, ding, 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 sort of let out a gush of steam and launch.
Pray for me.
Launch Kaval's fist forward
Oh.
as she critically misses, and what it does is it misses the lichen directly in front of you, past his head, and just kind of causes your body to spin a little bit, and you bring him into you in a sort of hugging motion with one arm. His head snaps back from where the ham was going, and suddenly he's fixated on you again as you bring him in closer to you than he previously was. The one on the left, however, the right, sorry, he's going to run over here, and that gives both Kaval and Damien attacks of opportunity if you would like to use them.
100%. I'm gonna fuck it up.
Roll me an attack roll.
Just from the great sword or from anything, or hello.
Well, yeah, no, any attack roll, anything you want to do.
Oh, sorry. Just
Yeah, that's a hit. Give me damage.
kadoosh.
And that's raging +2. So yeah, you just like lob one of this thing's legs off from the knee down, and it just causes this thing to stumble forward and land bleeding. It turns before it gets to the ham and looks towards you, and looking up at you, its eyes wide, it snarls as it clings to life barely. Kaval, do you want to try and stab it to death? For the record,
Um,
Kaval is supposed to roll a d2 there, not a d20. Everyone's complaining and confused. Essentially, so she has an item which she got called the where are they? The Fury Gauntlets, which are a huge set of steam-powered gauntlets, and they basically, when she punches, the attack is always either a critical hit or a critical miss. That's it. So the D2 is to decide whether it's a critical hit or a critical miss. Essentially, it means that she either does a critical fail, suffering a penalty, or she does just a straight 6 bludgeoning damage, which is double damage on her standard for just an unarmed attack. So that's how that works for when she uses the Fury Gauntlets and she uses these big steam-powered things. She's supposed to roll a D2. You did all right, Kiwo. Don't worry about it.
Thank you. Am I still like tangled up with this lichen in front of me, or?
Yeah, sort of, but you can still attack the other one. Like this is
With
after
a
that's happened.
javelin, he seems to be a little bit away from me.
He would still technically be in here as you swing the attack. It's all kind of happening in the same moment. So.
All right. Well, I guess I went over. I punched the one in front of me with my right hand, so I just swing across with my left hand.
The left gauntlet.
Oh fuck! It's still on, isn't it?
What?
It's still on.
The steam gauntlet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can hit.
Oh, can I just punch it with my
Yeah.
flail? Bring my left hand over and try and punch it in the ass as he's trying to get away.
100%. Roll me that D2.
Oh wait. Oh fuck. Oh yeah.
Come on, do it.
Yeah, it was made by a gnome called Dr. Frankenbeans.
Pray for me.
Unfortunately, a miss as you swing around and stumble somewhat, completely
Those
missing
things are
this one.
useless. Like, useless.
And yeah, you punch Damien. Give me the what is it? 6. Damien takes 6 bludgeoning damage, which I think is reduced by half because he's raging. Is that correct? Yeah, bludgeoning. So you take 3 damage as this left wrist kind of. I guess Kaval does a kind of spinning back fist with this enormous thing, and halfway through it just activates the steam-powered gauntlet, which just wildly flails in a direction, and then just boom, cracks Damien in the chest. The other Lycan then continues to fall with his missing leg part falling to the ground, snarling up at you. The one next to Leo makes a dash over here for the meat. Leo, you have an attack of opportunity if you'd like.
I'll use my rapier for that.
I come down on my greatsword.
What do you mean? You can't do
I'm
anything.
just down because I'm hurting real bad.
Oh, okay,
I
I
got
see what you
punched in the chest.
Yep,
Yeah, I'll try to.
that is a hit. Give me the damage. Nice. Yeah, you as this thing just turns and runs for that ham, as all this commotion happens to one side of you between Damien, Kaval, and the other Lycans, you just shove a rapier into the other one's side. It lets out a as it runs, turning back towards you, no longer distracted by the ham, with a small wound in its side. This one will turn back once again on you all here. This guy next to Lycos, weaponless, swaying from side to side, bleeding profusely, takes another bite. As it bites into Lycos's neck, you see Lycos blood rush out of this horrific arterial wound over this Lycan's snout and body, and Lycos is dropped to the ground in front of the Lycan, who then moves over to here, prepares to pounce on someone else. Lycos is, for the moment, down. Dorora,
Yes.
it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Okay. Pretty much Jorah is gonna step in between Leo and Cabal, and she's just gonna she kind of puts her right hand on Caval's shoulder as she stumbles towards them, and then throws out her hand to towards all the Lycans, I guess. And I want to do burning hands.
Wait, you want to do burning hands from here? That will hit all of your teammates.
Wait, if I step in between them though,
Oh,
like
move your token to where you want to be, so I can kind of see.
be right there, like in between the two.
No,
like
no, you
she's-
can't occupy the same spot unless you're small, like
Oh.
a halfling or something that can do it.
Well, now you're going to.
You can move to any of these spots here. Any of
As
these
my
spots.
action.
Yeah. No, as your movement. Your movement is completely separate to your action. You have 30
30 feet.
of movement that you can use in any way to move around, and then you have an action on top of that and a possible bonus action on top of that, and you can do them in any order.
All right, she'll stumble around Leo. And
If
end
you
up
get
there,
to,
then.
I guess.
I want to use
here,
this.
I guess that would be.
Well, would she be out of the? It's 15 foot. So hold on. She ends up over
Roll
here.
20 does not help for this, by the way, but I normally just do this 15-foot cone that does like these 3 spots in front of you, so we'll hit all of this lot.
Right. Even Caval though. God
It will
damn
hit, yeah, Caval.
You know what? Stop it. I'm trying. Okay.
You could move to here, and it would hit Caval.
Well, fuck it. Let's move over. Get up.
You could get.
Right there, and then I could get 2.
Yeah, I
At
mean, you
least.
could do it. You could just aim it this way and get 2 instead of all, and not get this one.
Yeah, fuck it. You guys handle that shit on your own.
It's about the
She's
only
gonna
way
go-
you can do it, I'm afraid. Yeah.
That's, Yep, she's gonna go for it. Fuck it.
Cast your burning hands.
She literally stumbles over there and like, she's hurting. Her shirt's messed up again. She's pissed. She just like lazily like throws out her hand. Yeah. Ask me what level to cast it at. What the hell?
Level 1. You don't have any level 2 spells yet. All right, so let me make some dex saves from these 2 here. As 1 and 2. 1 makes it and therefore takes half of that damage, which is a 7. That's the front runner here. What is his?
Okay.
He is burnt to a crisp either way. As this flame is produced suddenly from your hands, Aurora. This one in front of you he actually gets a lot of the way out of it, but he's already so injured that by the time his body lands over here off of the kind of planks and stuff that are set, he falls to the ground and he's sort of burnt up. The wounds have left him dead, and the other one immediately, already kind of grounded, missing half of a leg, just takes the full brunt of this fire, and just the arcane fire burns him down to nothing.
Get rocked, mother effer.
Roll me a d20.
Okay.
You do not wild magic. Surge. It's probably a good thing at this point.
I didn't. Okay.
Anything else on a bonus action? Do you have any bonus spells? I don't know.
I do not have any bonus
Then...
except for the chaos thing, but I'm not going to enable that yet.
Yeah, okay. This guy is dead, so it is Damien's turn.
I kind of look around real quick at the other ones again, and I look over at the one Lycan that's kind of more over by Lycos, the one that sadly, put him down, as what I'm assuming. Go over to him, and when I'm going over to him, when I'm running over that way,
He's above you.
What was that?
He's above you, but only by about 10 feet.
Oh. Can I get up there then? Am I able to get up there and attack them?
Yeah, you can jump up with an athletics check, or you can remove yourself and go up this ladder.
I'm gonna do that because I think I have more than enough movement to do that.
Yeah, you do. You can make it sort of to there. Yeah.
Do that. So I go over and I'm running up there and I get up the ladder and I go over and I'm like, how did you even get here? And I slice and I'm going for the old neck bone again, if I can find her and if I can find the great sword attack.
Sure, you do come in for this kind of like non-reckless attack and swing at this creature with this sort of dagger sitting in its side, face covered in Lycos's blood, and the greatsword swings. This one's a little nimbler than you were expecting as it ducks low, and the blade passes above its head. You want to do anything on a bonus?
Do I have it? Wait. Do you want a bonus? Question about the bonus thing.
Yep.
What do I get for bonus abilities? 'Cause I don't even really understand how that works with my character.
I think it's just rage at this point. I think you activate rage on a bonus. And
I think that's all I've got too.
I don't think you do. No. No. So no. Yeah, you're done unless you want to move.
The only thing I can think of that I could try to do is there any way for me? See, I've never asked this before because I've never had to like this close. Can I like put my great sword in front of me to try to like give myself advantage, or like to block, or I don't know, something like that?
You want to use the greatsword as a shield?
Yeah, basically that way, because I'm low on health. So any way I can try to take less damage, even while I'm enraged, is better.
You can kind of do that, but you'd have to do it as an action, and use your great sword as like a quarter cover or something like that.
That's okay. No, I'm good then.
Yeah, I mean, I'll allow it because it's big enough as a sword to kind of use as a shield, but you would have to do it as an action, a sort of covery action. I mean, you can do stuff like dodge. For the record, everyone in the crew, you could do stuff like there's an action that you use your action to do something called a dodge, which basically gives everything disadvantage to hit you. And there's things like that which we can go through a little bit further on. I don't like to confuse you all when you're quite new, but I feel like we've been doing this for long enough that I can start introducing things like that, and letting you know how all that sort of stuff works. But we can cover that if and when. So yeah, no, you're probably done for that one. And in doing so, the lichen in front of you, Kaval, is going to attempt to once again bite at your heavily armored body.
Oh.
And it does so. You're kind of spinning around wildly with your fists here, and just as you manage to do it, you expose a very small portion of your body between two of the plate, the chain shirt. What do you have on? Something like that. Is it plate? No, it's not plate. And it manages to bite into your soft, supple paladin flesh. It's a nasty one. Woo! You feel these teeth tear into your side, puncturing a kidney, probably. And give me a strength saving throw. You have to beat an 11.
Okay.
Just about feel this thing as it tries to wrench you to the ground, its powerful jaws locking on your side. And you just manage to steady yourself, throwing a gauntleted hand out to these planks of wood on the side and steady yourself from being brought down onto the planks below you. Leo, it is your turn.
Do either of these look more hurt than the other? Because I can't keep track.
Yeah, the one next to Kaval looks brand new. The one up by Damien has a dagger in his side.
I will throw the dagger that I have on. No, wait. That's not gonna do enough. Yeah, no, I'll do that though. I'll throw the dagger that I have on me, like towards that one, because I can see that Damien is really hurt.
Yeah.
I just grab it up, try to aim it, and like.
It's gonna hit.
It's not gonna hit you. Oh my god, if it does.
Critical hit. You just fling this thing at the lichen above you there. It launches up and just stabs it in its right eye. Ping! You, Damien, see the flesh of the eye burst, and the tip of the dagger actually sticks out of the top right-hand side of this lichen's skull as this thing is thrown with such deadly accuracy and strength. However, it doesn't kill it. It just sends the thing backwards. It rips open one of its eyes, but the lichen just lets out a and turns its singular malicious eye back onto you, Damien. Leo, you want to do anything else?
Yeah, because it is Kaval's turn next time, right?
Yeah.
Then I want to use my Baradic inspiration on her.
Baradic.
That is Bardic.
Sporadic inspiration. Okay, so you can give
Sounds about right.
Yeah, Kaval a bardic inspiration. How does that go? What does that look like? Does it do anything?
No, I guess I'll just. God, I should have thought of all these. I'll just soothly just. And she just like feels super.
My morale has been raised.
Your morale has been raised. And so you, for the next 10 minutes, Kaval, have the option to roll an extra d6 on top of an ability check and what does it say? Read it out to me.
Attack, and ability check and saving throws.
There you go.
Ooh. Oh, okay. Is it my turn?
It is your turn. What would you like to do?
All right. Well, I look down at my gauntlets, which I guess the left one is slightly stained with
Mm-hmm.
Damien's blood, and oh, screw this. I take a step back and reach both hands behind my back and pull out my greatsword, but with the momentum as I'm pulling it over my head on a swing down on top of the lichen in front of me.
All right. Roll me that attack roll with the greatsword.
Yee.
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 That is going
Yee.
to be a hit even without the bardic inspiration. Roll me the damage.
Mm-mm-mm.
And yeah, you bring this thing, it's an overhead swing, and it just splits this lichen's head in two. You feel the sort of thin bone underneath the greatsword split and break, and then flecks of brain, blood, and bone just splat you and Leo as this greatsword just cleaves the top of this lichen's head in two, dropping him in one hit from full health to dead. And then the force pushes the rest of the body down, hitting the ground, and you have killed him.
I want to look over, as I'm still covered in brain matter and stuff. I want to look over to Leo and just sort of flick the stray strand of hairs fall in front of my face. I'm just gonna flick it out the way and give him a cheeky wink.
You want to do anything else with the bonus? I don't know if you even can do anything else with the bonus. I don't know what you've got anymore since the level up. Your spells,
not
right?
gonna do anything.
Yeah, no, you do have stuff. So remember with your spells to keep track of how many you've used. So you've used one, so you can do
Okay.
a little thing. I know nobody can see this, but we're playing around on a separate screen. All right,
shoot.
so the lichen in front of Damien, eye missing, dagger in one side, dagger in the front of its head, brings its body low and kind of weakly and meekly attempts to bite at Damien. However,
Jesus.
it does so. This thing kind of stumbles forward, and Damien also kind of stumbling about. The two of them on top of this barge here. This thing brings in and actually manages to catch a piece of Damien's leg, rips the flesh from his leg, presumably putting you down if you're that low. This is 4, remember?
Yeah, does it do half damage?
Yeah, 4.
Then I am actually still luckily at 3.
Okay, give me a strength save. It does everything in its might to rip you off the top of this barge and force you to fall down into the barge's lower level. You steady yourself. This thing's not got any strength left in it, and you just grip it and push it off of you before it's able to push you off the edge there. Let's go weakly. Dorora, what would you like to do on your turn?
I would like to try the Tides of Chaos, please.
Yep,
Thank
you can
you.
do Tides of Chaos. Yeah, it's an automatic advantage, I think.
Oh, well then this guy's already at disadvantage. Fuck that. Let's just do Witch's Bolt as she leans against the barrels, and she's holding herself up because she's still obviously hurt, and she just outstretches her hands again, and the crackle of blue lightning bursts through from her hands, which is new to her. She's never tried this before, so it's good.
Yeah,
good.
roll me that attack roll. Oh, damn. This full Palpatine-esque lightning just bursts forth. Give me the damage there. And utterly electrifies this thing to an absolute crisp. There's a and then an extra sort of pulse of lightning energy just pushes through this half-elf's hands, and you, Damien, see the insides of this the skeletal form inside this horrible monstrosity as it and then falls into another steaming pile of dead lichen in front of you.
Yes.
You successfully defeat these lichens here. However, there is
God. No, no.
there is a terrible crack, and you feel the barge shift a little underneath, and then there's a terrible scream from below deck as the crew, you hear a few of the crew members and then suddenly cut short, and the barge starts to rock and sway a little, and that is where we go to our second break, ladies and gentlemen.
No.
And we'll
I
see
need a
you
wee.
in a few minutes. Yeah, you need one of those fear wheeze. See you in a while.
Bye.
to the show. It's me, Pony Punch, I can sing. Hey, Pony, shut up. I'm trying to introduce the show back from the
Yeah,
break.
Pony, what you doing?
What?
God, come on now.
What?
What are you talking about?
Okay, the group are on a barge, which has started shifting violently underneath them, and then they heard the cries and screams of some people below deck. What would you guys like to do?
I would
Before
like to
anything
go
happens,
Just give me an idea of what you're going to do. Yeah.
I
over.
look
I would
over
like
at
to
us.
go
I'm
if
like,
they like us.
somebody have a potion or something. I look over. I'm like, look at my arm, and like, half my arm, like leg, it's just dangling there.
It's just fun.
Damien, stay there. And I'm gonna run over. Can I run over to Damien and
And what?
I'm gonna lay on hands.
Okay.
Can I use that?
Yeah, I'm just seeing if you get more now because you're a higher level. So you have 10 now instead of 5.
Nice.
You don't have to use all 10, remember. You can give him literally 1 or 10 or however many you would like. As you place your divine hands on him, how much would you like to heal Damien for?
I am gonna hit him up with a 5.
Alright, Damien, you are healed for 5 HP by Kaval's magical hands.
I look over
I
at
slap him on the bum as I do it. That's my thing. Just a brief slap on the bum.
As she does it, I kind of look down at her, kind of awkward. I look at her, so I'm like, does anybody else still have a potion? I'm not looking good, and I kind of lean down and kind of fall over a little bit of my sword. I'm like, I don't have a good feeling about this.
Well,
Kind of sit there for a second.
Aurora runs over to her bag and she pulls out 2 red bottles. She doesn't know what they do.
I then look at her when she's running over, or if you're running over, and then I start digging through my bag and I find a potion of healing.
You have a potion.
I don't even know what my red bottles are.
I'm going to use that potion of healing. I don't know how that works. I've
Oh, I
never
have
done-
2. I have 2 potions. They say 2 potions.
You have 2 potions, I guess. Did you check them?
No.
Okay. They might be potions of healing.
I use my potion of healing.
Alright, you roll me 2d4 plus 2, if I am not wrong. Let me remember.
D4 plus 2.
Let me remember with my powerful memory here, because I have such a powerful memory. It's super powerful. Thank you guys so much. Let's see. 2d4 plus 2, yes, my memory is powerful. All powerful. You get 5 HP back.
I get, wait. So do I take the first
Oh,
or second
wait,
one?
wait,
Sorry.
wait.
You said, because I rolled both of them the same. I rolled 2 of them separate. So I think it's 6 plus the.
No,
so
you
11?
don't roll 2 separate d4s plus 2. You roll 2d4 plus 2. You know what I'm saying?
Ah, so you mean I need to do
Not
this.
2d4s.
2d4 plus 2. So
Yeah.
it'd be like that.
You get 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then I kind of like, I sip it and I'm like, "Ugh. Oh, yes. And I kind of sit there for a second. I'm like, yeah, and I'm ready. Kind of. Anybody else got anything they want to give me? And then
Wait. She's not worried about him. She's actually worried about herself as she's juggling these things. And she knows that she sees fucking Lycos' body chilling on the deck. And she's just like, she takes one of her potions and like runs over to Lycos with it and like pours it down his throat before she even checks her own. Like, because fuck it. We're going to test it on Lycos.
Roll me d2. 1d2.
Okay.
And you pour this random potion down his throat. These are the potions that you found in the box
In the box,
in
yeah.
the other room. Pouring this thing down his throat is just this limp body. Half of the potion comes out of the holes which are in his throat because he had most of his throat torn open, and sort of just pulls at the ground inside of his already thick bleeding neck here. Then the rest of it centers itself in his stomach. Give me a dexterity saving throw, please, Dorora.
How do I know it's saving throw though?
So you have on the box on the top left, there is saving throw. It just says dexterity, and then it's got saving throws at the bottom of the box written as a sort of title. So
It's above all the
underneath the
skills.
proficiency bonus and inspiration box, you'll see saving throws, and it starts strength, dex, con, int, wisdom, charisma. Do you see? On the very far left, where you've got dexterity, just to the right of that, you've got a separate box, a smaller box that says
saving
saving
throws.
throws at the very bottom. Yeah, so you click on dexterity in that box.
I'm so sorry. I
That's
didn't
okay.
see it.
Yeah, you do not avoid the sudden eruption of flame that comes out of Lycos's neck and mouth as suddenly this fire breath erupts from inside him
I just fucking.
and catches you, dealing 5 fire damage to you, burning Dorora. She tries to jump out of the way and doesn't do a very good job of it at all, burning you, dealing 5 damage to you. This was a potion of fire breathing. Are you still
Okay.
up?
I'm still up. she pretty much falls back and at first she had her hand trying to make sure the potion doesn't fall out of his neck. So she's kind of right over him, and then she gets a fucking fire to the face and falls backwards and is like one of those kids that fucked up with the chemistry set. Whoa.
Yeah.
And she lays back.
There's a smell of burning flesh as Lycos's insides ignite and he starts to burn.
God damn it.
Oh my god, I'm gonna run over to Lycos. And can I use my cure wounds? It's in my attack thing. But
Give me
use it
a-
on him.
Give
Don't
me
use
a
it on
give me a
him.
medicine
Use it on me.
check. Yeah, it will heal him.
I look up at Dorora. Wait your turn. I'm gonna reach down and use cure wounds.
All right, roll me the cure wounds.
I clicked it. And nothing. Oh, cast at what level? 1. Yes?
Yeah. Cast it.
Oh,
Did you
I
do
hit?
it?
Yeah, I did it.
You did it?
I did it. It says 9.
Oh, I haven't seen it. It hasn't come up for me.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Does everyone else have it?
Yeah, no, I don't
No.
have it.
Oh, well, if it's 9, it's 9. So it, you cast this divine. There it is.
There it is.
You cast this divine magic towards Lycos, and the wounds on his body don't heal. Nothing happens at all. The
Yeah.
flame continues to burn. Lycos is very much dead, unfortunately.
Oh, shit.
You just weren't able to tell that as you went over to him. You were convinced that he could still be saved, but he was very far gone beyond his death saving throws.
Can I get to my knees? I've forgotten the name. Was it Tamira or something? Just
Tamira.
no! As I scream with my fists in the air.
It is at this point that the boat gives another kind of strange lurch, and what would this be? Give me perception checks, everyone.
Perception.
Damien, are you there?
Oh,
I am here indeed.
Have you rolled?
Oh, I did not think you were actually even including me in that. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, everyone is
Please
also
forgive me.
you.
I'm not everyone. Don't
Um,
include me with those people.
Dorora, the boat is sinking. That's the feeling you get from this thing. But it is at that moment that a lichen jumps up onto the top of this boat. He looks kind of cut up and bloodied as he crawls to the top of this boat here. He looks over to see where all of you are, where his comrades are. His eyes widening, he lets out a howl. Turns as if to flee. Would anybody like to do anything?
Hell yeah.
What do you want to do?
She sees him and she reaches into her belt and grabs her dagger and tries to throw it at him.
Throw it. That is a hit. Roll me the damage. Flies forward as this thing turns around. It dings it in the back of the head. It falls to the top of the barge there, just collapses with a dagger in the back of its head, the blood trickling across the top of this deck. However, the barge is beginning to sink.
We're sinking. We're sinking. Like Dora's starting to like panic about it because she's feeling it. I guess not everybody else is. So she's
Yeah,
getting
everyone can
it.
feel the thing. I mean, you'd probably believe her based on the way the barge is moving around.
I guess I'm gonna look around and see if there's anything that we can use, any kind of flotation device if the inevitable happens.
Yeah, give me an perception check or an investigation check, whichever you'd like.
Hit perception and I
You could
would
maybe
like to
use
that one.
these kegs. You could probably, probably just these kegs. Everything else is very much tied down, whereas there are these sort of kegs which have just been full of like wheat, barley, and things.
Are they still
stores.
full up with the wheat and such?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well I'm gonna make my way over and just start emptying them out.
All right. What's anyone else doing? Well, Caval just dives for one of these things and starts emptying out these huge barrels.
Is there anything around? Is there land anywhere around us?
Yeah, there's land on either side of you. This isn't an enormous river.
That's what I thought.
And you can swim to the north bank or the south bank of this
What
river.
do these banks look like? What's the area look like? What's the weather? What's going on out of curiosity?
Snowy. There's chill to the air. There isn't actual snow falling, but there is ice and snow on the edges of the banks here. But the water rises practically to the edge of the bank. It's a very low bank. You would just have to swim through the very cold water to the bank and pull yourself up and out of the water. It wouldn't be too difficult unless you really, really fuck up.
Is there a?
It's not like
Is there like a
isn't like a
rowboat?
wild ride, white waters situation. It's a fairly calm river.
Is there a rowboat?
Nope.
No, none. I go over to the edge over here, and I look over the edge down at the water. I'm literally looking to see what time of day is it, by the way?
Night. It's about 11 p.m. Maybe not
So
even
it's
that.
dark as
Like
shit.
10, half 10. Pretty dark
Oh,
out.
it's dark too.
It's almost full moon though, so you do have a fairly okay.
I'm kind of trying to get an
dim
idea if there's
vision.
anything that looks like it's either attacking the ship or what's going on and why the ship is sinking.
Okay, give me an investigation check.
Where the hell did investigation go? Are you not there? You are. Fucking awesome.
Can't tell. Can't really see anything.
I grab one of the barrels that's beside me and I literally just chuck it into the water right below me.
All right, and you throw it into the water. It floats and just begins to move slowly downriver away from the barge.
I
Okay.
kind of sit there. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead, continue.
I sit there for a second after it starts floating, and I consider for a second jumping, and I look over at the rest of them and I go, I jump into the water and go to shore, but I'm going to be honest, how is the boat sinking?
Dora kind of like pulls herself up and like, can she go over to where the lichen fell and look down the hole to see if there is anybody down there still like alive?
Sure, yeah. Give me a perception check as you approach the edge of the below deck's hull ladder. It's deadly silent. There's no noise coming from below decks apart from like the sound of a sort of rush of water filling the hull. Looking just down the hold, you can't see anything. But there isn't anyone down there. You could climb down and look, but from this position you just see the bottom of the ladder, and it doubles back behind where you are.
She shouts down the hole to see if she could hear, like if anybody responds.
What are you
And
shouting?
Hey, is anyone down here? Is anyone still alive?
No response.
Okay, so she's gonna go ahead and take her dagger back from the liken's fucking head.
Okay.
and then like turns to everybody and she's like, I think they're dead.
I would assume that they're dead. Did you hear the screams?
They still could have been alive.
Either way, we need to find a way to get to land. This thing's gonna go down any moment now. I'm panicking. I know I've got a lot of armor on, and I don't know if I can swim with that much on, Sarah.
Can you see anything? Like anything, Damien? And Dorora also like goes to the side of the ship to see if she can see anything.
Yeah,
on the
go
water.
over at the other ones. I grab another barrel and I throw it into the water, and then I grab the other barrel and I throw it into the water. I look at the ball and go, "We have to get in this water. It's going to be cold, and you are heavy. I highly suggest you float on one of these, and we'll try to help you get to shore."
So be it. And with that, I'm gonna just dive towards one of the barrels.
Give me an acrobatics. Give me an acrobatics check. Aurora, give me a perception or an investigation
Perception.
check,
Or investigation.
whichever you'd like.
Ooh, yeah. Let's go with perception. Oh no.
Yeah, looking around, you can't really see anything that might have done any sort of damage to the bottom of the ship. Nothing really in the water or anything like that. And then suddenly Damien throws these two things into the water, these two barrels. Caval does a swan dive off the edge of the barge, lands just next to one of the barrels, and then grabs onto it, clinging to it as it floats off. Caval, you're essentially in the water. I'll just, so I can keep track of where everyone is roughly. We'll put you guys like around the areas. What is Leo doing at this point?
Can I look over this way and see if there's anything
Yeah.
worth noting while they're all
Perception or investigation? You see just off to one side there's like the tip of a spear or a harpoon or something just sticking out from inside the hull,
Oh my god.
just underwater, and it's created a sort of a break in the wood that's letting on a little bit of water.
Okay. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Then I'll run back. And
Caval and
I'll
the barrels
dive
are
in.
now moving away. Yeah, give me an acrobatics to try and jump near this thing.
What?
You land near Caval, Caval wanna
I'll
grab
grab
him?
onto the barrel.
or grab
Yeah.
onto Caval.
Yeah.
Yeah, Damien, Dorora, everything is floating off away from you now.
I go to jump in.
Give me an acrobatics check. And Dorora, you doing the same?
Yeah. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this.
Acrobatics checks. Dorora lands.
Do I get to? I don't know if it's, but never mind. Never mind. It doesn't count at all. Never mind. I already know it doesn't count.
Everyone clinging to the same barrel
Oh,
as one of them disappears off downstream, and the barge begins to move away. You see the barge kind of taking on more and more water as it sinks lower and lower. It's quite a low to the water vessel anyway. As it starts to take on water, you see the weight of the planks start pushing it below the surface level. As you float northwards towards the north bank, you're able to vaguely grip and climb out, but I'm going to need con checks from everyone, please,
For how cold it is, isn't it?
for how cold it is.
Am
a
I?
saving throw or just?
Con saving throw, yeah, sorry. I'm being such a shitbag of a DM for all you scrubs. So you manage to get to this sort of north bank. You pull yourselves out, Caval, Damien helping Dorora and Leo smaller out of the water, and in this freezing snow on the sides of the banks here, you shake off a lot of the cold. However, who hasn't rolled one? Caval, Constitution saving throw,
Oh,
please.
I'm sorry.
Dorora, Damien, you feel mostly fine. Dorora, you're probably able to use some innate magical sorcery to give yourself a little heat. Damien, big, strong, thick-skinned dragonborn, you're okay. Kaval mostly able to ward off the cold from the water from
I'm just taking my boots off and pouring the water out of them.
yeah, just the amount of clothing and armor that you have on you sort of keeps a lot of the initial shock off of where you guys are. However, Leo, you are utterly frozen to the point where you start to feel very ill, very quickly ill, and you will immediately suffer a point of exhaustion, which is a thing that nobody
That's not good.
has had to deal with yet. So there are 6 points of exhaustion. If you continue to suffer exhaustion, it basically goes from ability checks disadvantage, which is what you have at the moment. All of your ability checks and all of your attack rolls and things have disadvantage at the moment. And if you get to 6 points of exhaustion without dealing with this issue, then you will die. So Leo looks very cold, shaking, blue-lipped as you pull him out of the water, and there's just snow around you. What do you guys want to do?
Take off your clothes, Leo.
What?
Take off your clothes.
I pull out my bedroll.
I'll
Just take off your clothes, Leo.
Fine. And I'll take them off. Not my underwear though.
I look over at him. I go, underwear too.
What? I'm not.
It's not like that. Be a man. Nobody cares. Hypothermia.
Fine. I'll turn around, take them off.
Walk over to him, and I have a question prior. Does my bedroll, is it soaked, or did it stay dry if it was in the pack or anything?
Everything is
I
soaked.
realize. Okay, everything is soaked.
Well, I'm gonna use predigitation again.
Mm-hmm.
And where he threw his clothes at, it also allows me to like warm up 1 cubic feet of non-living material for an hour.
Yeah.
So where he threw his clothes at, can I heat up his clothes?
Yeah, so you start to heat his clothes up. They don't immediately dry, but they begin to dry a lot quicker than they would have done.
Are we like
naked?
Yeah.
Are we in snow right now? Like, are we like stepping in snow?
Yeah. So essentially, where you are right now, middle of the night, there is nothing but snow. A few sort of bushes and trees, but no, it's sort of a flat plain that leads in almost all directions, bar the river to one side of you, and then there's just this slow, icy cold river below you. But yeah, you're in a sort of what would be grasslands area, though it's completely covered in snow, just sat still. There's nothing around your immediate area where you can see. Obviously it's nighttime, so you don't have the best vision, though the moonlight does provide some dim light for you to be able to tell that you're not really near anything. There's nothing there.
In a 60-foot cone, I breathe out this acid breath to a direction that nobody's standing, is to melt all the snow in that area, so as that it's a little warmer when the snow goes away and the acid kind of goes away a little bit. I would assume that the ground would be a little warmer from melting all the snow and everything. So I'm trying to do that in order to open up a spot that might be a little better for us to be standing in, instead of having some of our bare feet in snow.
Yeah, you start just firing acid out in cones, and it melts away the snow, but it replaces it with just like a boiling acid pit for a moment. It starts to dissipate to a degree, and below it, even the grass which was under the snow kind of melts away, and there's just a muddied, wet, acidic dirt patch where it was after a few minutes. After about 10 minutes or so, when you're sort of done with that and the acid dissipates, Leo's clothes will have dried enough for him to put back on. But hypothermia has set in. Thusly, he is suffering from 1 point of exhaustion. To get rid of exhaustion, essentially you need to do some long rests, so at least some rests, or deal with it in some sort of innovative way.
Dorora, you're good with your hands. Fire. That's what you do.
Fire? What, you want me to...
We can burn something. Someone's got to have something, a bedroll, anything.
Are my things
Jamie.
dry?
No one else's things. Oh wait, are you drying everyone's stuff, Dora?
Well, the stuff that's in the cubic 1 foot thing, that's whoever threw their ship there, I guess.
I mean,
dried.
whatever was there will have dried. Yeah. If you put your stuff there, then it's dry. If not, then you're frozen and wet.
I'm gonna go ahead and play by the metagaming thing and say that I never threw anything in there. I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't.
Me
Not gonna
neither.
say I threw something in there now.
Okay.
Just his clothes were pretty much in there. But, all
I have a
right.
bedroll, but it's wet.
Well, can you guys find me... Can you find me anything? Anything will do. Dry twigs and limbs and...
I look at all of them and I very bluntly say, "Stay here," and I start walking upriver, like not downriver. I start walking upriver along the river, and I have all my stuff with me and everything. Cold or not, I start walking up. And can I do a perception check when I get just a little ways away from him to see if I can see how far ahead of me I can see and see if I see anything I can walk to?
Yeah, you can do. I mean, you'll all know that the road is here, that there is a road that goes from Luskan to Mirabar, because you'd already inquired about it last week with somebody. So you do
Right.
know that there's a trade road. You can see it on the map. So there's this road here that lies on the north bank. You know you're on the north bank because you landed here. So you'll be aware, Tiger, that there is a road around. Not necessarily that there's anything else.
That's it, though. Just pretty much a road and just kind of open space.
Maybe you've not been here.
I need
so
to
you
roll
don't-
still, eh?
Yeah, give me that roll. But just for your general knowledge, that you will be aware that that road is there.
You want perception for this?
Yes, please. Nice. It's super dark, and you are a dragonborn, so you don't have any dark vision. But you start moving a little ways up river, while the others kind of, maybe Daurora's tending to warming some other things. Daurora, the dryer, starts drying some other items. Leo desperately trying to warm up, but not looking too great. You head up river a little ways and start to look around you. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's not like you're close to even a single hut. There's not even a forest to be able to find some dry wood or anything like that. It's just a very marshy but frozen marshy riverbank that leads along just a plains land, a frozen plains land.
I turn back around and I make my way back to the group. And when I make my way back there, I'd like to tell you I have good news, but pretty much in a frozen tundra. And then I look at them all again and go, but 1 second, I still have hope. And I walk to the west, or like which direction would it be? To the north, is that right? I want to walk to the direction that would be inland from the river, which I'd assume would be north at this point in time.
North, yeah.
And I want to walk.
Did you say something? I don't know if you cut out or if you just stopped.
I did. I said I want to walk for 10 minutes north.
I'm going to put a ham on the screen for roughly where you probably are, based on your collective knowledge and Lycos and stuff like that. You'll be around here somewhere.
Around where?
Where the ham is.
Kind of where Mirabar and River Mirar is.
Yeah.
Instead of walking 10 minutes, I start walking and I kind of get this weird sense of me, and I walk back to the group and I go, how tired are all of you?
Pretty freaking exhausted. My shirt's ripped.
I look over at the rest of them and I kind of look them up and down, and I realize everybody kind of look, including myself, to a certain degree, kind of looks a little bit beat up and frozen from that. And I look at all of them for a second. I go, I'm pretty certain that Mirabar is within a... Say it's a walk up, right?
Give me a survival check. By foot, you could make it there in 12 hours.
All
Easy.
right. All right. Look at the group, and I kind of look them over real quick, and very, very certain I go, it's only about a 12-hour hike from here, and realistically, what else do we need to do this? We're in a barren wasteland. We might as well take off, or we can stay here. And realistically, we could try to sleep, and I point over to the area that I kind of cleared, snow and everything, and I kind of point over that I go, we could sleep, and I'm okay with that, but we'll have to take turns staying up, and we'll have to stay very close to each other to keep warm. And I look over at Aurora again. I go, can you cast that spell again? Are you able to do anything to heat up and dry our clothing?
Actually, I was just reading about that in my vast knowledge, and it says I can cast the spell multiple times, and I can have 3 non-instantaneous effects at the same time. So yes, I can. And in fact, why don't you sit right down here, and we'll try to warm you up, Leo.
I look over him as they're talking, and I pull a torch out of the back, and I have the torch out, and it's kind of sitting there doing whatever it does as a torch, and I point over towards the little area, and I go, I think that maybe in that little area over there that we formed, maybe you can use your spell in a couple spots, and if we stay in between it, maybe there's a good idea that we'll get a little bit of, kind of like a heat, it radiates, maybe we'll get a little bit off of it, and we put our clothes and all of that inside of it to make sure they all get dry, including our bed sheets, and then once that's done, we can figure out a little fort of our own and all huddle up and try to get some sleep, and I'll take the first watch. Sounds good to you.
Can we not burn the barrel? Where'd it go?
Burn the barrel?
Yes, that we had with us.
Probably put it damp. I don't know if we'd be able to get it lit. And I take the torch and I kind of look at the torch and I look over at where the barrel is. Kind of sit there and I'm like, I almost guarantee that barrel's probably frozen by now.
God damn it. All right.
Anybody else have any suggestions, or does that sound good? I mean, I'm up for other suggestions, but it's either that or we walk.
I'm not
Dark.
walking.
Night is dark and full of shit.
Let's warm up first before we decide to do anything.
Take out another torch when she says that. I'm double fisting torches, and I walk over to the little area where the little open spot was at. And in one spot where the corner was at of where I opened it up, since it's in a cone, I take one of the torches, I dig a little hole, and I stick the torch in the ground, kind of squeeze it in. I go over and I do the same thing to the corner, and I take one more torch out that I have. I go to the very last corner, to the farthest corner, and I do the same thing right there.
Mm-hmm.
And I light up all 3 corners of the little cone. Stick them in the corners.
Okay.
Aurora starts gathering up Leo's clothes and her bag and like moves into the thing, but at the same time, I know it's kind of an action as well, turning off the heat that where the clothes were, so she could do the heat in the other plot spots.
Yeah, I mean we're sort of out of combat and having to worry too much. It's a cantrip, so you can basically just continually cast it.
Yeah, so once she gets set up in the moving her stuff, yeah, you guys put your stuff down right here. And Leo, you kind of, can you hold this? And she like shoves her bag into his hands and like throws the does her little whoosh thing, and it that little spot is warmed, and she tries to do it all over his body, like it's 3 feet, so at least go, like she tries to get like his vitals done at least, and his vitals and his toes, but his head's fucking exposed, whatever. And she's, everybody just pile your stuff on his stomach, his chest, and his feet. That's it.
I start stripping down. I take everything off. I take my backpack off. I lay my greatsword down. I take everything off that could be dried, and I just literally plop it down on Leo.
Hold her stuff, and she starts getting naked too and throws all her clothes on him.
Oh. I see him lying there, and I slowly start taking off my armor and sort of
God.
lining his like his out. You know, you see those like murder pictures, like the white outlines in chalk. It's gonna be like that, but with armor.
Okay. Dorora,
Yes.
you feel strange for a moment as all of this stuff is going on around you. I should let you know that you passed your tranquility test earlier on, where everyone else failed. Looking down at your hand, you see a symbol, a glyph, begin to form and appear. Now, anyone else would probably be a little bit concerned, but as a wild mage, this sort of shit happens way too often for you, and you just assume, hey, this is weird, something strange is happening here. The glyph glows a very light blue, and it forms a familiar shape. It is the exact shape. Let me show you on this thing here. It is the same shape as what you would find on this
On
wolf's
the
head.
wolf. Oh.
And you have 1 tranquility point. Now it can do a multitude of things, but you become vaguely aware of where this giant white grey wolf is. You get a sense, kind of like a sonar, that starts going off, that this thing's sort of fairly nearby and would be somewhat north of where you all are right now.
I kind of stop what I'm doing for a second, butt ass naked. I look over and, how much longer do you think it'll be till the clothes will dry?
And at this time, Dorora's holding up her hand, like, and she sees it, and like, she knows what the mark is, right? Like, she's seen it in the dreams, and she's just.
Yeah.
I think she's just speechless. She just like holds up her hand so hopefully everybody else can see it too.
Yeah, it's pretty bright. I mean, it's glowing, so you'll be able to see it as a group.
She even hovers it like down so like if Leo sat up he could see it, like, I guess.
Yeah,
And
essentially.
just looks at everybody.
Yeah, you get the feeling that if you tried, you'd be able to just stand up and walk to exactly where the thing is, you know?
I think I can find it. I think I can find the wolf.
Kind of sigh at her for a second. What about my clothes? Dry? And I reach in, try to see if the stuff's dry.
Probably halfway dry.
Look at my hand, Damien. Look
her
at it.
hand, look back at my stuff. I'll worry about it when it's dry.
Look, I know that you obviously don't care, but I can find this thing.
I've been listening, and I've realized that for about the past 5 minutes, but the problem with it is I'm not going anywhere until my clothes are dry.
And at that point, Dorora starts putting on her clothes, like, regardless, and, like, just gets up and, like, starts,
Oh,
I guess,
I
walking
reach over
away
and
from
grab
them.
I want to grab her wrist.
Mhm.
All right.
Aurora, this is dangerous. You'll catch a cold. We can't do this. We need to be dry.
And, like, she, like, looks at them, and then she kind of gives a little sigh and, like...
Look at Leo.
Okay, she sits back down, like, beside him, like, even though her clothes are still damp. We have to find the wolf.
I understand that, but we'll get sick if we go out like this.
I reach back in to see if my clothes are dry.
They'd be exactly the same unless Dora's carried on.
Oh, they're the same. Yeah, she hasn't left. She sat back down.
It'll probably take another
Beside
10, 15 minutes.
Okay.
Like, she just stares at her hand the whole time.
I just kind of sit there in silence for a second, looking at my clothes, and I kind of cross my hands over my crotch area, if that makes sense. Not really trying to hide anything, just kind of waiting patiently. And I kind of sit there for a second, and I look over at the rest of them real quick, and kind of look up. What do you think's gonna happen when we meet this wolf, anyways?
I don't. Who knows? Maybe we can find out what happened to Maina.
But maybe, but why that though? Why would that be your top concern? I mean, this wolf is in our dreams. We're going to find out about that. It was in her dreams as well. But it makes me curious.
Well, the wolf called out to me, and I didn't even know you all, so I think it's very important that we find out why. And she holds up her hand again to show them why it's doing this and why we can all see the wolf.
How am I feeling, by the way? Am I still...
You're still exhausted, but you feel a lot
Yeah.
better from being warm. But you still have 1 point of exhaustion at the moment. Yeah.
I tried, Leo, okay?
It's fine.
I kind of look back over at Cabal again, and I'm like,
No, do I
use the
catch-
priest, paladin, whatever you could or would shall be. How do you feel about this wolf that's in our dreams? What's your god say?
Well, that's the thing, Damien. I don't know. I can't explain this. It doesn't make any sense to me.
But what about what your god said?
What my god says? Again, there is nothing. I've not heard of anything like this.
You mean?
People sharing dreams, visions. I don't know
Why
what
don't you
this
ask
is.
your god?
Our gods work in mysterious ways, Damien.
Tyr, or is it Tor, or what's his name again?
Torm. They
Torm,
work in
that's it.
mysterious ways.
Torm. Well, I don't believe in mysterious ways, madame.
Then what do you think this is, Damien?
I don't know either. I'm not saying I do, but I feel as a person that follows a god that you would maybe have a little bit of an opinion outside of I don't know.
You think this vision, this dream, is some kind of deity? That we should follow it blindly?
Who? The
This
wolf?
wolf?
No, I'm not asking that. I'm asking what your god thinks about this wolf. Spoken to him about it.
As I said before, the gods work in mysterious ways. And I don't know what to make of this.
Kind of cock my head to the side for a second and look down at Leo's little naked body with all the stuff on top of him. How are you feeling again?
Bad. Real bad. I'm just
What's wrong
still
with your
shivering.
voice?
What? No, sorry. I'm just feeling bad. Well, I hate to say it, but I think we'll have to spend the night here.
I don't disagree. Kind of look around again, and I have to ask because I'm going to ask. The torches I put into the ground obviously were wet, so I never did say I lit them or anything like that. Is there a way that I can try to light them?
Try and light them with a D20.
What are you up to, bro? 3 of the D20s or 1 of the D20 for each of them?
1 D20 for all of them. They take a little work, but they're good shit. They're higher grade special torches that you've brought with you from Waterdeep or wherever you're from. And after a moment, the oil which is on the end of each of these torches catches because it's oil. The wood is wet, but the rags on the end of the oily rags on the end of the torches catch, and they light as you go around.
I right after I get the last one lit, I stand in it for a second and I kind of put my hands over it and my arms over it, just kind of warm myself up a little bit. And I kind of said, how long has it been now? It's the last time I checked about my clothes.
It's probably been about 5 minutes.
Okay.
I think it's been an actual 5 minutes, so.
I kind of sit there for a second and I look at the torch and I keep my hands up and I look back over at Kaval again and the rest of them, and I don't turn towards them. I have my back towards the flame still, and I just kind of go, is it weird to say that I don't think anything bad's coming about from this, but weird to say that I really don't trust it. I can't promise that I stick around for all of this, because, well, kind of shrug a little bit, put my hands over the fire again.
I just look at Damien and nod my head.
Continue to warm my hands for a couple more minutes, and I turn back around to the group. I look down at Leo again, and I'm like, what do you think about all this?
I really don't feel like thinking at the moment. I just want to get warm. Can I start crawling towards the... I don't know if they're enough... Like, how big are they? Can I get... Well, I guess it's some warm, so I'll start crawling
You
towards
in that warm spot with all that stuff on top of you right now?
That's right, I guess. Well, yeah, it will be cooler, or yeah, it'll cool down if I move. Dang it.
Yeah, it lasts for an hour, bro. Chill. I mean, don't chill, but...
I look at him for a minute, and I'm like, how are you not warm by now? And I go over to him, and I want to touch the area, and I want to find out just how warm it is, so I can see how much he's just complaining about being.
How warm is it, Wish?
It just warms things up. It I reckon it warms up, warms up and flavors food or non-living materials. So I'm guessing it would be warm enough to warm up food, which would be, I don't know.
So it's pretty warm for the most part.
Yeah.
Like way more than warm enough to get warm.
Yeah.
I realize how warm this is, and I kind of look down on him for a minute, and I literally just go, shut up.
What?
Just answer my question, you baby.
I'm cautious, all right?
Cautious what? How do you
Well,
feel about this?
Just because we saw something in our dream doesn't mean it's a good thing we should follow. I said that.
But it's doing this. I'm marked up now. Well, I'm used
Still
to
doesn't
that.
mean it's a good thing, does it?
I need to know.
It could be a death trap.
He led us in the right direction.
To a boat that
Cavalry.
sank.
No, and to a nice icy land that we're all sitting in now. And real, if we're being honest, if he cared that much and he knows where we're at all times and we're this close to him and he knows we're freezing and this is so important, to be honest here, why has he not come to us?
Maybe it
Cannot
can't come to us.
Can't come to us? Well, maybe we should try to sleep and find out. As I say that, I go back over to the spot where Leo's laying, and I lay right down next to him, and I grab my sleeping pack out of there, regardless of how dry it probably is by now, regardless if it's completely dry or kind of damp. And I put the rest of my stuff back on. I grab all my stuff, I put it on, grab my short, I seat it back up on my back. I make sure that it's not just sitting around, and I look at the rest of them, and I go, I'm going to sleep. And I'm going to try to find out what's going on. I'm going to sleep with all of this on, sadly, because I don't trust being out here in the open. You guys can do as you please. And as I say that, I start unrolling my sleeping bag, basically, or my bedroll some more, and start kind of trying to get comfortable in it and pulling it up to my waist. And I sit up and I kind of look at it. I'm like, I think we're in for a long road. I'm not going to be one to have less sleep on it. And I also think this wolf of our friend that we have in our brains is going to come to us in a nice way since we're not to him right now. And as I say that, I kind of like lay down on my side and I kind of close my eyes, but I'm obviously still awake because I'm just trying to sleep.
I'm gonna make my way to the other side of Leo and sort of try and scooch in as close as I can, sort of looking for any warmth I can get. Just gonna sit there,
Okay.
just wait.
Leo?
Yeah, I'll. How long would it last? An hour?
Yes.
Um. Well, if we're gonna spend the night here, we'll have to find a more permanent shelter, no?
I kind of like open my eyes a little bit and I look at the light or the lanterns per se that I've kind of put up and I go, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I walked a decent ways away and nothing else around us and everything's much too wet and moist to sleep in. Sadly, this fire and this little triangle I've set up for us is probably about as good as we're gonna do unless you want to dig a hole.
Curses. I'll try to fall asleep as fast as I can with the warmth still being there, I guess. Because I guess I'm exhausted, so I'll just try to pass out.
Okay. Dorora?
Well, Dora realizes that nobody gives a damn what she says, and she just like, she's still sitting beside Leo, and eventually she'll just kind of cock over and fall asleep on top of him. Like, she's sitting up, but then she like just ends up sleeping.
I'm not sleeping yet, by the way, Brad, just to let.
Okay.
She ends up sleeping, like falls asleep on him, like in the warmth. She can't help it. She's hurt really bad anyway, so whatever.
Yeah.
You're still naked too, right?
No, she put back on her clothes.
Okay.
That would be
So
interesting.
Caval, Leo, and Dorora go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Damien?
I realize that my plan worked, and as they all drift off to sleep, I get up, and as I stand up, I sit there for a minute, and I stand up and I kind of look around the entire area again, and I sit down. I sit down on my bedroll in the area that we've cleared out, and I kind of pull it up over me to keep warm, but I don't go to sleep. I just kind of pull my legs up to my chest, and I kind of cross my arms over them, and with the bedroll kind of wrapped around me. And I realize as I'm sitting down, I go over and I grab that other torch, the one that was a little bit farther away from us compared to the two that we were closer to. And I grab it and I sit down with it and I kind of open up a little hole right in front of me. And then I kind of keep pounding it into this it's about halfway in the ground now compared to what it was. I'm just kind of sitting there keeping my hands warm over this fire, and I sit there and I just kind of keep watch.
Okay. And Damien takes watch as the others kind of in exhaustion fall asleep and enter this strange sort of dream state. And Leo and Caval, you have that similar dream of being in a kind of winter woods area, and there's this enormous wolf-type creature in front of you with that symbol on its head, and it looks down at you but opens its mouth, doesn't seem to communicate in any way. However, the two of you notice Dorora heading through where you are, and she steps closer, much closer to the wolf, and the wolf looks down upon Dorora, and you see them sort of communicating but can't make out anything that they're saying. However, Dorora, in your dream, as you approach the giant wolf, you find that you can move a little closer. Usually this kind of dream state, you don't have any real control. You just witness something and then you wake up. Whereas you find you're a little bit more in control of what you're able to do, and you're able to approach the wolf a little closer. And as you do so, it looks down at your wrist, at your the back of your hand, where you've got that symbol which matches his. The soft glowing of the symbol seems to resonate at the same sort of time. It will pulse lightly, and the wolf looks down and says to you, Dorora, "The symbol is celestial in nature. It seems You have awakened the tranquility of the goddess. And that is where we end today's session.
Wait, hold on. Let me write this.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, suckers.
Suckers.
what is-
I was in there too, so I heard that.
No, you saw Dorora get closer to the wolf and you saw them begin to
Ah.
speak, but you guys can't make out anything of necessarily what's going on, what's being said between the two of them as they have a short conversation, which we'll find out about next week.
Wait, what did he say to her really fast?
What did he say?
Look-
What did he say?
Find out next week on the next
He
episode.
told me,
Find
no.
out next
The
week.
wolves on water.
No, he
On
just
water?
told me what they said.
On water.
They're on water now.
Congratulations, everyone. You've made it through another
Woo.
episode successfully.
Survived.
I'm proud of you. You just about survived that very difficult
Yeah.
combat at the
You're
beginning.
welcome, Wish.
No, thank you.
Yeah, we'll be back next week, but until then, I'm sure you can see all of these fine, lovely people on their own respective channels. Let's
Hey.
start with Mr. Pony Punch.
Hey, my name is Pony. I stream music on Wednesdays like this, and otherwise I do games. And I'm off on Sundays, and we have a great time. You should come. Yeah.
Head over to
All right.
Pony
Aw.
Punch for good times abound. What about you, Wish?
I am streaming every day this week, I think, and it's gonna be really cool. I've been playing a lot of Arma 3 roleplay, and you can find me at Wishfully with all eyes, and we're gonna have lots of fun. Actually, I'm gonna stream after this stream too, so check me out.
Yeah. Kiwo, where can people find you?
Hello, my name is Kiwo, but it got taken on Twitch about 4+ years ago, so I am Kiwion on Twitch. You can find me there, and I play video games. I am going to be streaming again. I'm still homeless, but I sit in the kitchen on my computer now.
Wow.
Thank you.
And last but not least, Mr. Tiger Writer.
Hi, Tiger Rider, full-time entertainer on Twitch. I do it typically Saturday through Wednesdays, and I also do this on Wednesdays, and I also stream on Thursdays for another D&D campaign that I'm a part of with Brad called Fraction
Hell
Worlds.
yeah.
It's all pretty fun, and if you like D&D, I'd suggest coming out tomorrow, and if you also like D&D, I suggest coming and checking out my stream, just based on the pure fact that I like D&D too.
Me too.
Head over there and question them about D&D. Yeah, everyone, thanks for watching. I hope that you are enjoying the Walls of Water so far. It's gearing up a little bit. It's changed a little bit because I've added maps. But we're getting into the swing of things, I think. I'm really enjoying it. I hope you guys are too. Thank you guys so much. Love you guys so much. And we'll see you next week. 9 p.m. What is that for EST?
That's 4.
4 p.m. EST time. And then work out the rest yourself. All right. Thanks everyone for watching. Goodbye.
Love you.